Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Hello and welcome from Celtic Park. It's Liam McLeod here for this afternoon's game in Glasgow's East End, but never fear, I will keep you up to date with what's happening across the country. Plenty action in the 19 games that are being played across the Scottish Professional Football League, across the 4 divisions, so you won't miss anything. We've got reporters out and about. It's slightly different this weekend with Scotland's final Six Nations match taking place in Dublin against Ireland as they chase the Triple Crown for the first time in about 3 decades. So it is slightly different, but you won't miss anything. The match is beginning to kick off across the country as Celtic look to go to the top of the Premiership and put some pressure on Rangers who go to Dens Park tomorrow. And they'll be pretty happy with the fixture, given they're unbeaten in 28 meetings with St Johnstone. The Sainties did pick up a point last time they were here at the end of August, and it will be the visitors from Perth to kick off in their blue shirts with the white pinstripes down the front, going right to left as we watch from the main stand. Celtic in the green and white hoops, shooting towards the Lisbon line stand. The ball is out to this near side off Johnston and out for a St Johnstone throw-in, which will be taken down on this left flank by Luke Robinson, who is on loan from Wigan. In fact, he's going to leave it for Considine, who's one of 3 alterations in the Saints lineup for this one from their draw against Livingston last time out. It's pulled forward, looking to try and get Sidibe involved. Celtic have enough numbers in the road, and it's Kuhn who emerges with it, and he goes back to Carter Vickers, who skippers Celtic this afternoon in the continued absence of Callum McGregor, who's sitting off to our left in the director's box. Long ball forward, which Kuhn is chasing, but it's not back to the goalkeeper by Liam Gordon, clear by Mitov, and it bounces around the midway point of the St Johnstone half, and it's picked up over on the right hand side there for Saints by Matt Smith down the right hand side. The long ball comes all the way through to Joe Hart. Celtic were decent attacking wise last week, but yet there were problems defensively, and it's something that has been an issue at times this season. As Kuhn picks up on this near side, he's up to about level with the edge of the St Johnstone D on the right hand side. He shifts it back to Tomoki Iwata. It's the same middle 3 there, O'Reilly and Bernardo either side of the Japanese, and now it's with Kuhn on the right hand side taking on Robinson, leaving it for Johnston, who tries to cross, cut out by the former Celt Graham Carey, and it breaks back to Iwata, and he shifts it in field to Taylor, who's popped up in the right inside channel here. Forward to Kuhn, comes off Considine, and it's a little appeal for a handball against Andrew Considine there, as that's dumped out of play for a Celtic throw-in on the near side, level with the Saints penalty spot. It's O'Reilly to Johnston, back to O'Reilly and into the midfield for Iwata, who plays it short to his right for Johnston. Johnston then moving it over to the left there. Taylor, he's slipped it forward there, looking to try and get it in behind Ryan McGowan, though the Aussie reacts well, and he's won a throw-in of Daizen Maeda over on that far side. So goalless in the very early exchanges here, as it is in the other matches taking place in the Premiership. There has been a goal scored in League 2 though, and Bonnie Rig Rose have taken the lead against the bottom side Clyde. It's a massive goal at the bottom of the bottom tier, that one, as Clyde look up the way, or at least try to look up the way. They're 6 points adrift of safety just now, and Bonnie Rig have gone ahead in that one without a win in the last 7, Bonnie Rig Rose, but they've got the opening goal, and I'll bring you the goal scorer as soon as that becomes available to us. It's Carter Vickers here for Celtic, who is in right of the centre circle, and he rolls it out to Kuhn on this near side and goes back to Carter Vickers. Packy Bonner.
Yeah, this is Celtic. We know how to play with the 2 wingers, Kyogo through the middle. They're in control of the game at the moment. St Johnstone just sort of almost trying to get over that early period, 10 minutes, just to get themselves into the game, see how Celtic are going to move the ball around and hope that they can, like just nearly there, nick the ball and hit them on the counter-attack. So from that perspective, the game is settled in, as I predicted, probably most of us would have predicted.
It's the longest wait for a St Johnstone victory in the history of this fixture, as O'Reilly is beaten to it by Dan Phillips, who always looks to me to be a pretty impressive operator in the middle for St Johnstone. Billy?
Yeah, he's decent, isn't he? Sorry, I mean, you can see the way the game's panning out already. It's the 5 and the 4. for St Johnstone, sitting in there nice and deep. That is leaving Sidibe so isolated. Parter's probably 40 yards between him and one of the midfielders. They don't want to get caught too high. St Johnstone, you saw the first clearance from Celtic, nearly cost them when Kuhn nearly got in and they had to scramble it away. So it's about being defensive, nicely organised, hard to break down, but try to be a threat, and that's going to be a big ask with the gap between midfield and the striker.
Smart Osadolor got the goal for Bonnyrigg, and Alloa Athletic in League One are ahead against the doomed Edinburgh City. Edinburgh City 0, Alloa 1. If Edinburgh City don't win that game and Annan avoid defeat at Links Park against Montrose, Edinburgh City would go down today. As that's bowled back to the Saints skipper Liam Gordon on the halfway line, finds McGowan. Gordon runs into trouble though, but he's fortunate in the respect that Sven Sprangler was there to retain possession for St Johnstone's, back with the big Bulgarian goalkeeper Mitov at the edge of his box, long with the right foot all the way through to his opposite number, Joe Hart.
Yeah, Liam Gordon getting the ball. He's obviously playing the centre of a 3, but he was kind of almost caught on the ball. They were at him like a flash. Three players on top of him. He's taken a knock actually, but he's up and at it again. So yeah, Celtic were very sharp to go and close down there.
Ryan Blair's put Dumbarton ahead at Ainsley against Spartans. And we're going to get to Brian McLaughlin in a moment, because there's been a goal at Easter Road and Dyson Maida right now at the left angle of the box. Bear with us, Celtic attack here. It's Iwata who shifts it low out to Johnston on this near side. Celtic on the cusp of the St Johnstone box here. It's Kuhn on the right hand side. He's overrun it though, and Carey sees it behind for the goal kick. Brian McLaughlin, Easter Road.
First goal of the afternoon is a goal for the home side. It was a ball in from Adam Lepondra on the right hand side. It was Jordan Obita in at the back post to knock the ball in beyond Shamal George. It's Hibernian 1, Livingston 0.
And a goal at the Caledonian Stadium in the match between Inverness and Ayr. And what a huge game that is at the bottom end of the Championship, Bailey Davis.
Yes, it is indeed, and it's the visitors that have gone 1-0 up here at the Caledonian Stadium. Initially it was a corner for the Honest Men. That ball flicked away, headed back in, and it was George Stanger who managed to just knock the ball into the bottom corner. It's Inverness Cali Thistle 0, Ayr United 1.
George Stanger with the goal, of course, son of Tony Stanger, who would have been part of that Scotland side that last won the Triple Crown, as they look to do so at Lansdowne Road later on against Ireland. An awesome challenge for Gregor Townsend's men. As it's shifted back here, Stevie Welsh just shifting it forward there to Iwata. So the goal's going in elsewhere. It's 0-0 here at Celtic Park. The chip ball forward though towards Kyogo, evades him, and Constantine this time sees it behind for the goal kick. We're all in 7 minutes just about here. Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0. What have you made of the early exchanges, Billy Dodds?
Just with how deep St Johnstone are trying to play. As I said, there's only the ones that have been caught, Liam, from the clearance, and they're trying to press up, nearly caught them out. It's going to be hard for Kyogo to get in behind, make those runs, and any time that the wide players have run in from out to in, like the spare centre halves handled that one as well to get in behind the wing back. So St Johnstone doing their job so far. No threat in the game. Celtic are going to have to speed it up, make sure they're picking away, but they're the better team so far.
Yeah, I always feel what Kyogo has the movement, but then it's all about the pass, isn't it? It's all about if it's not an accurate as flight, that it gives the defenders a little bit of a chance, but if it's a quick penetrating pass, then it's much more difficult for them.
It's been another goal at Easter Road in the game between Hibs and bottom side Livingston. Brian.
Yeah, another goal for the home side. Joe Newland involved this time, playing the ball to Yuan. Again, simple ball across the box. And there was Malida at the back post this time to knock home his 6th goal of the campaign. It's now Hibernian 2, Livingston 0.
And the only goals in the Premiership so far, both for Hibernian against Livingston, who are becoming more and more withdrawn at the bottom of the table. They have shown some signs of life in recent weeks, including here in the Cup last Sunday. They are 2-0 down at Easter Road, and Malida continuing his excellent goal-scoring run of late for Hibs, on loan from Hertha Berlin. Hibs 2, Livingston 0, goalless in the other Premiership games being played, the other 4 this afternoon. It is Stephen Welsh for Celtic over on the left of the centre circle, firing it into the feet of Greg Taylor on the far side, rolls it into into Iwata. He's enjoying his extended run in the Celtic side in the absence of McGregor as Carter Vickers strides forward, rolls it infield to Iwata. St Johnstone trying to get through these first 15-20 minutes. If you can bed yourself in here and give yourself a chance, as they know only too well, having taken a point here in August. As Iwata shifts it out to Nicholas Coon on this near side, faced by Carey, changing pace up to the edge of the box, rolls it to O'Reilly, runs into Considine, who gets it clear to Phillips, given away. Now it's with Greg Taylor. Celtic keeping the pressure on. Tomoki Iwata now at walking pace, as Coon again is an option on the right. He was lively against Livy here on Sunday. The Celtic number 10, he has it, it's a dink ball into the box, which is headed away by Gordon, but only as far as Johnston. Little chip into the box again, comes off McGowan, and then Maida trying to get onto it at the left angle of the 6-yard box, but Sprangler comes away with it over towards the corner flag, trying to dig his team out of trouble here. Celtic players all over him though, and eventually he can only put it out for a throw-in over on that far side for Celtic.
Got the old multi-ball, haven't they? They're trying to keep up the pace. Ball girls, ball boys playing their part and just getting the ball to Celtic, getting the throw-ins in nice and quick, just trying to keep this tempo up.
Celtic have it on the left-hand side, and a chance here, perhaps in behind. It's O'Reilly, plays it across low from the left-hand side of the box. Cut out though, a couple of Saints defenders in the way as it pops out to that right-hand side. And getting on to it was Matt Smith, and he's managed to win his team a throw-in the end on the far side, so just relieves some of the pressure on the St Johnstone defence. So just the 2 goals in the Premiership, both scored by Hibs as they hunt down top 6. Sabita and Mizani Malida 0-0 in the other games, including what you would have to say is the match of the day in the Premiership between Kilmarnock and St Mirren, as they both look to try and find European football. Looking good for it, particularly if one of Celtic or Rangers win the Scottish Cup. As that long ball forwards cut out, it's O'Reilly, he's got it through towards Bernardo, goes down, no foul, and Phillips comes away with it, trying to spin his man. He's done really well, full 360 degrees there from Dan Phillips. Sprangler has it, rolls it into the centre circle for Carey. It's the first time St Johnstone have been able to string some passes together in the game, which is 11 minutes old at 0-0.
Yeah, and the crowd were getting on. There was a foul in the middle of that for Celtic, but they got away with it and they were able to spring themselves up the pitch a little bit. I thought they would have carried on in the attack, but they've come back just holding the ball up, trying to get a few passes in just to take the pressure off themselves and control the game a little bit. But Celtic at the moment, all over them, really pushing them back to the edge of their box and playing with an intensity that I haven't seen for a while. But it's all about, can St Johnstone survive this intensity at the moment?
So far so good for the Perth team, but here comes Celtic again with Coon, but he can't control it. It's out of play for a throw-in. Yes, that 5th place becomes available to one of the European berths should Celtic, Rangers or Hearts lift the Scottish Cup in May. So there's a pretty good chance of that happening, and Kilmarnock and St Mirren looking good for that just now. Maybe late runs at the back post by the likes of Dundee or Hibs, as well as Andrew Considine bowls the ball forward. You maybe hear a Celtic fan in the background who was frustrated with the length of time Considine was taking to take the throw, and Celtic going to get a free kick here. It was a late challenge by Liam Gordon on Paolo Bernardo, and this is just beyond the midway point of Celtic territory, just right to centre, and a chance to threaten the St Johnstone box again. Didn't see much in it, maybe slightly high. He's gone through with a bit of force, but I thought he made good contact with the ball, Billy.
Got a bit of the ball, just the momentum took him into the man, and that's why Ewan Anderson gave the free kick. Celtic going about it the right way. Seen them, as we were talking about pre-match, about slowing it down too much, but they're trying to quicken the play up, slick passing, trying to get through this St Johnstone defence. St Johnstone mentally are just, as you said, Liam, you said 10-15, stage by stage in this match, and see if they can put some pressure on Celtic. 13 minutes on the clock. O'Reilly with the free kick, left-footed, drifted towards the left-hand side of the area. It's headed back across the 6-yard line by Welsh, cleared though by McGowan, and out for a throw-in it goes to Celtic over there. So Hibs 2, Livingston 0, goalless elsewhere in the Premiership. Ayr United 1-0 up in Inverness, goalless in the other 3 matches at Airdrie, at Maryhill and at Hampden.
In League One, still just that Alloa goal, 1-0 up against Edinburgh City. The league leaders Falkirk play Queen of the South later, 5:30 live in BBC Alaba as the Bairns close in on the title. And in League 2, Bonnyrigg 1, Clyde 0, and Spartans 0, Dumbarton 1, goalless in the other three. You can keep up to date with the scores at any time at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland with a live text there. As Maida with a low ball into the Saints box from the left is cut out and it's cleared by Sprangler, looking to try and get St Johnstone away with Sidibe, and he's onto it as well against the odds, taking on Carter Vickers at the edge of the box. His shot is blocked. Carey picks up the scraps, shifts it back to Phillips. Phillips then will roll it back to Considine, who 10 years ago on this very date was in this stadium winning the League Cup with Aberdeen on penalties against Cally Thistle. That long switch of play over on the far side, aimed for Keltins, is cut out. Celtic have it back here with Iwata, rolls it with the side foot with the right foot to Maida on the left and out to O'Reilly. Almost managed to return it to Maida, cut out though, and Sprangler finds Carey, who dinks it onto that right hand side for Matt Smith. His ball forward though is pretty aimless in the end, and it goes out for a throw-in for Celtic. And whilst St Johnstone are holding Celtic at arm's length at the moment, Craig Levein will want better use of the ball when they're getting into Celtic territory.
Yeah, listen, they're set up to play on a counter-attack. They've got the one striker up front, and he's quick, he's sharp, but they've got to get bodies then up to him very quickly, and that's when they may become a little bit more vulnerable actually on the counter-attack. Here's a chance.
Celtic in the box here with O'Reilly, couldn't quite get it under control though, and the referee blows his whistle to signal a St Johnstone free kick. This is a St Johnstone side, Billy, that's only scored 6 goals away from home this season. 2 of them came in their recent win at Pittodrie against Aberdeen, but they just don't score regularly enough away from home. They don't score regularly enough across the board, but 6 away from home is paltry stuff.
I might be wrong, but I can't see too many today either. That was better from him just moments ago. It was Smith. Showed some composure to hit a ball forward, and it was great play from Sidibe because Carter Vickers tried to shove him out the way. He read what was going to happen, nipped inside them and got the shot away. But yeah, you can see why they don't score goals, but they'll be just hitting the counter-attack today. That's their best chance.
Johnston's ball forwards cut out on this near side by Robinson, who finds Carey just in the halfway line. It's Phillips in the centre circle. Sprangler wanted too long on it, nicked away from him by Maida. Then there's a foul on Bernardo by Phillips, and Celtic have a free kick in the centre circle. Let's get a little update from Fir Park. Willie Miller watching Motherwell Aberdeen.
Yeah, Aberdeen have had most of the possession, playing with a fair bit of confidence by the look of it, moving the ball slickly. Majowski had one opportunity, very tight one, down the right hand side that just drifted over the bar as they tried to lob the goalkeeper. Motherwell on that occasion, they're just having a big opportunity. Dan Casey it was. Oh no, it's not Dan Casey it was, and it was Devlin that got the block on it, and it went over the bar, and from a very good chance for them. So it's quite even just now, although I think Motherwell are struggling a little bit with the Aberdeen shape, playing with the 3 up top. So nothing too much to report, but Aberdeen playing with a fair bit of confidence, maybe unexpectedly. 0-0.
If Aberdeen don't win that one, they will equal a club record 12 league games without a win, which they produced across 2 seasons in 1999. So much at stake, just 3 points above Ross County in that playoff position. Let's go to the big one at Rugby Park between Killie and St Mirren. Kerry Nitsan.
Goalless here after 16 minutes. Kilmarnock started well, but St Mirren are starting to play their way into the match. It's fairly frantic here. We just need a bit of quality football to break out.
Kilmarnock are actually unbeaten in 7 against St Mirren going into that one. And St Mirren looking for a bit more excitement away from home, having just won 2 of the last 12 on the road. Phillips has it for St Johnstone, and it's shifted just to the right of the D there for Ryan McGowan. Let's go to Airdrie, because Scully Singh's watching them taking on Arbroath in the Championship.
Yes, Liam, a shock lead taken by Arbroath here. Ball slipped through from Charlie Riley. Ryan Dow there just rolls the ball past Robbie Hemfrey. He was signed just this week after Joshua Ray's injury. So the score here at the Excelsior, Arbroath 1, Airdrie 0.
Well, there you go. I don't think too many would have had Arbroath down for the win in that one. Airdrie have begun to get a bit of form again. Although at home they're 4 games without a win, so perhaps not that big a surprise Arbroath have only won one of the last 12. The bottom side as Kuhn comes forward into the box to Johnston at the 18-yard line, bends the cross in, and McGowan heads it over his own bar, and that will be a Celtic corner over on that far side. 18 and a half in here in Glasgow. It is nothing each.
Yeah, got to go back to that big chance for Kuhn. That was a great run actually in behind Luke Robertson, the left back, and he took a touch. Robertson got back and got a little touch on the ball back to the goalkeeper, but I think it was Celtic's best chance.
It was, yeah, and it came when we were hearing from Willie at Fir Park there as the corner comes in. It's headed well over by Carter Vickers, and it will remain goalless. I suppose for St Johnstone, I wasn't actually at the game when they got a point here earlier in the season, but I suppose for them it's a different manager now. That was still under Stephen McLean in those days, but those players, a lot of them started that game, were involved. They'll know what it takes to get a point here, and so far, approaching 20 minutes, they've kept Celtic at bay.
Anything here's a bonus. Doesn't matter who your manager is or your personnel. You just come in, as we've talked about, try and bed yourself into the game, get to half-time, get in about your troops and try to rally them for the second half. To get through a phase of that second half, you can never switch off for a moment. For Celtic, it looks as if it's going to have to be the perfect cross, the perfect ball, because St Johnstone are practically defending on their 6-yard line, even deeper at times.
Yeah, can I say on that point, Billy, you know, obviously with Adam Ida in the team, they can put the ball in early because you know you got a bit of strength in the air, but when it's Kyogo, you have to pick your pass.
Chance for St Johnstone. Robinson crossing into the Celtic box. It's headed away, and what a run that is from Maida. Dreadful touch. Didn't have the touch to match it, but he was away from the defender, left him in his wake, and then the poor touch to get it straight into the next one. McGowan, and then Maida with the foul over on the far side, and I think whoever it is gone down is going to require some medical treatment here. It's over on the other side of the pitch from where we are.
Well, it was Kelchins that made the tackle. It's not Hannes Downall, but Maeda, his momentum fired Maeda into the other St Johnstone player, and that's why he's picked up a bad one, and he's banging the ground as if he's in trouble.
Yeah, it's a Sprangler, is it? I'm not too sure if it's a midfielder.
Yeah, it might be Sprangler actually. I'm looking for the number 23. I don't see it, so it must be him who is down. The deadlock's been broken in the match between Kilmarnock and St Mirren. Kerridine.
Charles Dunn has just blasted St Mirren into a lead on 20 minutes to the joy of the 2,500 travelling Saints fans. Kelly couldn't clear from a corner, and Charles Dunn put his laces through the ball into the top right-hand corner. St Mirren are ahead at Rugby Park by 1-0.
Well, St Mirren emerged with a victory there. They will fancy their chances of 4th place. They're closing in, as are Kilmarnock, of course, and absolutely rubber stamping a place in the top half of the table. For Saints, it would be the second season in quick succession, and their best campaign last year since the late 80s, so they are very much on their way to another top half finish, and they've got Charles Dunn to thank for the lead that they now enjoy at Rugby Park.
Yeah, just Liam, on this game here, you know, that's 21 minutes gone now, and I don't think Celtic has had a shot on target yet. Which, you know, you talk about style and you talk about differences and so on. Of course, St Mirren have parked themselves a little bit, but that's when you've got to either get that ball in early, have shots from distance, test the goalkeeper, put almost a different slant on the game. It just can't be pass, waiting for the moment, and then time runs out on you. You know, and that's the difference, I think, if we go back to talking about the difference between Ange Postecoglou and Brendan Rodgers and the way that he wants the team to play.
That is Charles Dunn's first goal for St Mirren, and it's his first goal all told since Saturday the 22nd of July 2017, when he scored for Motherwell in a League Cup game against Morton. Here comes Celtic, they're in the box, O'Reilly across, Bernardo in the stretch, might get a second chance. Kyogo kind of gets in his way, Dan Phillips digs it out, and he's found Carey as well, and there's been yet another goal in the game at Easter Road. Brian McLaughlin.
Number 3 for Hibernian. It was a break by Chris Cadden down the right hand side, a lovely ball inside Montano into the path of Ewan. He cut the ball across goal, and there was Adam Lafondra all alone at the back post to knock the ball home. Hibs 3, Livingston 0. This is a rout.
It is that, and there has been a goal at Fir Park. Willie Miller.
Yes, Liam, it's for the visitors. Aberdeen take the lead. It's Leighton Clarkson that gets the final touch. Good work down the right-hand side. Majowski gets it with his left peg. He volleys it towards a goal. It comes off the post. It's travelling at a fair pace as well as Clarkson takes it on the volley again and rifles it into the back of the net to give Aberdeen the lead.
Good hunting ground there, Liam. I know that a lot of Aberdeen fans worried, but a place where you would want to go today, need the result, is Fir Park. They always seem to get something there.
I've had some big results at Motherwell in the past, and of course 1-4-2 there earlier in the season. Spangler's down again, incidentally, here inside his own box, and I think they're going to have to make the change.
Yeah, they are going to make the change. I think they're just waiting to get somebody on here. I'm just seeing who it is.
Yeah, it looks as though they're going to bring Kucheravi on. A man Craig Levine knows well. Long before he was St Johnstone manager, he was the one who spotted him. He was at Brecon, of course, for a loan spell. And Kucheravi, the Ukrainian, comes on, and Spangler's walking very gingerly behind the byline off to our right, so he is off. Kucheravi comes on. So just to round things up, that little update there, Hibernian have gone 3-0 up against stricken Livingston. Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1, and Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. Leighton Clarkson with that one. Little header from Welsh finds Carter Vickers at the edge of his own box to Iwata, and Sidibe is trying to, any opportunity he can, he's trying to hustle the Celtic defenders, because Craig Levine will know that Celtic love to play the ball out from the back. So you got a little buzz bomb up there, it can cause problems.
Yeah, well, it's good. He's looking for a little mistake, isn't he? You know, but you really should be able to play around them. You know, the two centre halves and the midfielder should be able to play around one player.
After last week, he certainly looked for a mistake. That's why you're saying what you're saying, Liam, in terms of Sidibe put the pressure on, just chasing everything, just might get something out of it.
James Berry's put the League 2 leader Stenhousemuir 1-0 up at Station Park against Forfar in League 2. And it's 1-1 now. Edinburgh City have gone back on level terms as the corner for Celtic comes in. Breaks the Carter Vickers on the turn, blocked on the line, and then somehow Maida's efforts blocked too, and it breaks out to Dan Phillips, who fires it high away from his own penalty area, and it stays Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0, almost in 26, and the champions did all but score there.
Yeah, they're going to check this. I think the referee wants to check on it, because obviously it happened so quickly. I don't think he could see what really happened. But initially, when the corner came in, it was Stephen Walsh that had a great opportunity. He's flying in, and I thought he should have probably made contact. Goes over his head, and then it sort of falls at Carter Vickers, who blasted it, and there was a scramble in around that 6-yard box from that percent. It was a good ball and bit of pace on it. Real difficult one for them to handle.
Was it Kyogo that got the final strike as well? I mean, it was just...
It was Maida who the final strike. I think it might well have hit an elbow here. And I think it might have been Kucheravi.
So close.
But it wasn't so close. But we know what the handball laws are these days, and it's the kind of thing that can quite easily be given.
Do you know what they are?
Oh yeah, I mean, you've seen those ones given so often, Packy.
Yeah,
the one thing I would like to ask is,
nobody knows.
No penalty here, by the way. It's been they've stuck with the on-field decision, but there are handballs that go on elsewhere on the pitch which aren't penalised. They get penalised in the penalty area.
Consistency. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. They're going to have to try and get a bigger percentage up the referees in terms of consistency, because the handball rule is the one that is killing the game. It really is.
Long throw in Constantine into the Celtic box. It will be cleared by Welsh though. He gets it away up towards halfway, but it's been won back there by St Johnstone. Out to the right hand side, the cross ball comes in, the diving header away by Welsh from Matty Smith's cross. It goes out to Maida, who dinks it forward towards the halfway line. It's cut out though again. It's good defending by St Johnstone, this time over on the far side. David Kelton goes out for a throw into Celtic on the far side. The first goal's gone in. Across the city here in Glasgow at Firhill, Kazim Sheikh watching Partick Thistle. Martin.
First 28 minutes here, it has been all Partick, and they've just got the reward for that after 28 minutes. Brian Graham, Greenock Morton have given the ball away in the middle of the park, and the captain has just got hold of the ball, carried it forward and hit a fine right-footed shot into the bottom right corner of the keeper's goal. So at this moment, Partick 1, Greenock Morton 0.
Thistle unbeaten against Morton this season. That goes out for a goal kick to St Johnstone. The Celtic fans howling their derision at the decision because they felt it came off Robinson last, but it's a St Johnstone goal kick, and Partick Thistle leading against Morton there. Morton lost 3 in a row after that run of 16 unbeaten. I noticed, Dodsey, that Thistle moved the advertising boards around the Firhill pitch closer to the touchline, I think, so that Lewis Strapp didn't have as long a run up for his long throws.
Anything to get an edge and win the game.
There's a chance for Celtic. Through it comes to Kyogo. He's in on Mitov. He puts it over. What a chance of the game. If Celtic wanted one man to see the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes, it's Kyogo Furuhashi, but under pressure from Mitov and one of the Saints defenders, he's put it over the bar, and it stays 0-0 here at Celtic Park after 29.
Yeah, it was that ball over the top at his pace, of course. The goalkeeper actually went to come and made a really good decision to go back on his line and almost get his angles right, and then he could come. As soon as Kyogo then took the touch, he was out on him. Defender actually closed him down, and I think Kyogo, the only option he had, Billy, you'll know better as a striker, to maybe lift it over the goalkeeper.
He's tried to do that, and he's got too much on it, lifted over the crossbar. His best chance, he breaks that higher line as St Johnstone gets through. Once he takes in, and you're talking about the goalkeeper good back, and I agree with you, I think he's just got to smash it and see if he gets through him because of the angle he's at, but tries to be too delicate and lift it over him.
League One goal, Hamilton against Stirling Albion. Kevin O'Hara's got it. It looks like the top two are pretty much bedded in there in the third tier. Falkirk will be champions, only a matter of when. Accies, you feel, will be second. Montrose and Alloa trying to stave off Cove Rangers, who are making a little run towards threatening top four. And it's going to be a free kick to St Johnstone, but it's right inside the Celtic half, over on the far side, just inside it, right of the centre circle. We'll go to Dingwall for an update in a moment. We'll get the St Johnstone free kick out of the way first. It's a chip ball forward by Keltiens up towards the edge of the area, headed into the box by Gordon, headed clear by Carter Vickers. Dan Phillips hoisting it forward towards the 18 again. Carter Vickers clears, Kuhn goes down. The referee Ewan Anderson says no free kicks. St Johnstone emerge with it on this near side, and it's shifted infield there to Smith, who finds Phillips. He's under real pressure here from O'Reilly. He's facing his own goal here, and he has to put it behind for the corner. He got himself into all kinds of trouble there. Did the St Johnstone midfielder, and Celtic have a corner which was completely and utterly needless.
You've got to realise when it's going to go. Liam Robinson takes an eternity and then chips it towards him. Then he takes a touch of just turn and get rid of it, son. You're going to get caught. Celtic 3 men on the press, and Phillips takes a touch, nearly gets it robbed.
O'Reilly with the corner, drops on the 6-yard line. Carter Vickers lays it back to Bernardo. Shots blocked out with it. Wata! Blocked on the line again. St Johnstone living a charmed life here. Really important block once more. I think it's Luke Robinson who blocked it this time. As Sidibe comes up the other end looking to put the pressure on, he goes down, to the ref's happy with the challenge by Kuhn. Here comes Celtic again. They can't believe they're not in front here. Almost on 32, it is 0-0. Kuhn comes forward, gets it back and lifts it towards goal. It was more of a cross than a shot. Mitov clutching it underneath his crossbar. But on 32, it stays Celtic 0.
Well, Celtic
0.
really should be in the lead. That was a brilliant chance for them. You've got to say good defending though. Soon as he dropped back onto the line, Robertson got himself in a great position, because I think that was the only thing he could do. He couldn't go to the player on the ball because he was well off him, so he had to get back on the line, and really good defending. But Celtic should at this stage be one up. That's
Johnson
4
had
big
the
chances.
Shot. It was St Johnstone with the final shot, and then Robinson does brilliant. I mean, you're right, Pat, because when it breaks, they've got a man spare. Celtic, he hits it, and then Robinson just plants himself on the line, and it's goalkeeper's beaten. It's a goal saving clearance it is.
It was Iwata, wasn't it, with the shot
was
there?
Iwata, sorry.
There's Welsh forward to Iwata. Under pressure though, Robinson has it back for St Johnstone. Here is Carey, dinking it forward onto the chest. This is Sidibe, no flag at the moment, of course. He's level with the Celtic penalty spot on the left hand side. The flag goes up now, and that will be a free kick to Celtic deep inside their own half. It's rolled back to Joe Hart. Elsewhere today so far, Hibs 3, Livingston 0, Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1, Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. Let's go to Dingwall. Ross County taking on Hearts. Ian Auld.
Still goalless here, Liam, but it's been a really good opening half an hour in this one. Hearts are going close through Toby Civic and Lawrence Shanklin. The best chance fell to the home side though. Simon Murray, great played on the right hand side, whipped across in for Jordan White, and he somehow scooped over from yards out. Remains goalless, Ross County 0, Hearts 0.
Here comes Celtic, cross ball into the box, is headed away by Robinson, and then the clearance completed by Phillips. Scraps are picked up by Iwata, plays it short to his right to Johnston, square to Taylor, left foot to the right angle of the box for Nicholas Kuhn, taking on Robinson, down toward the byline, he pulls it back, and a sliding Considine puts it behind for Celtic's latest corner kick.
Yeah, another chance for Celtic. You've got to say that's about 5 chances. I did say it was about 15 minutes before they could get a shot on target, but the last 15-20 minutes they've peppered St Johnstone's goal.
There's O'Reilly with the cross into the box, Mitov punching it away from the corner. It breaks to Welsh, who turns it back to Taylor. Taylor now rolling it low to the left hand side of the box. Bernardo fires it across, and this time it goes in. The flag goes up on the near side. Well, Celtic got the touch at the left angle of the penalty area from the excellent cross into the penalty box. Mitov got a touch onto it, couldn't keep it out. He's been saved for now by the offside flag. I think there's 2 Celtic players in an offside position, so it's the correct decision, an easy decision actually for the linesman Callum Spence on this near side. It is Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0.
Yeah, will be checked. Don't make any predictions with VAR, I've got to say, because it happened so quickly. It was a group ball in. I would think you're right, Liam, if I was predicting this even without watching VAR.
Half a yard, wasn't it? I don't think there could be any complaints.
It was Kyogo who got the touch onto it, but yeah, looks as though Ewan Anderson, he's telling Mitov to
it's an offside.
Yeah, go back the way to take a free kick. So no goal. There has been a goal at Balmoor though. Peterhead 1, East Fife 0. It's Peter Pollitt that has got the goal for Peterhead, who are having an excellent season. And there's been another goal at Fir Park. Aberdeen, last we heard, were leading against Motherwell. Willie Miller.
It's an equaliser. It's being checked. It was Lennon Miller that latched onto it with the left foot from the corner, right hand side. It comes over. It's flicked onto the back post. Lennon Miller gets his head over it. It drills it with the left foot. It takes a little deflection. I think that's what they're checking. Takes a deflection, ends up in the back of the net. It is a goal, but it's being checked. Liam will keep you updated. At this moment in time, it's 1-1, but VAR is checking to make sure no infringement.
Lennon Miller was excellent against Rangers a couple of weeks ago as Motherwell won at Ibrox in the league for the first time since 1997 as the 17-year-old scored against his dad's old club. We shall find out. He hasn't scored for a while actually, got to go back to the League Cup groups, scored a couple. Lennon Miller. We will wait for the confirmation that Motherwell are back on level terms against Aberdeen. The header away by Carter Vickers. Here is Sidibe for St Johnstone. Little ball back into midfield for Phillips. He's given it away though, and now it's Kyogo. Maida's away to the right. That's not who St Johnstone want to be. In space in behind the defence. Kyogo still has it though, and his attempted ball across takes a deflection over the crossbar. On that occasion, Packy, and I know Kyogo is deadly in front of goal, he surely has to slip Maida in as soon as he gets onto the ball there.
I think he was trying to. I think it was in his mind, and it probably put him into 2 minds actually, because normally you see a striker, they'll just take it on and they'll go past the defender, and he's got that ability and pace, but I think he was trying and it wasn't happening for him, and he got caught in 2 minds and allowed the defender then to get back to get the block.
Corner Celtic, O'Reilly takes a deflection off the St Johnstone defender. He was out covering up the near side in case it was a short corner. Kuhn gets onto it. It's half away by Phillips though, and now it's Carter Vickers. 37.5 on the clock. It's 0-0. It's Taylor. Carter Vickers, the skipper for Celtic, bends the right foot, cross ball in. Constant gets it half away, then on the volley Iwata his effort saved brilliantly by Mitov. Flag's gone up again. So we wouldn't have counted, but it's another terrific effort from Tomoki Iwata. It was his shot earlier on that was blocked on the line by Robinson, and on this occasion it was an inspired save by Dimitar Mitov. Let's go back to Gully Singh, who's watching Airdrie Arbroath. Last we heard the Lichties had hit the front, Gully.
Yes, it's all square here. Airdrie have found the back of the net. Nikolai Todorov, the ball cut back, and he's just pinged it right in the bottom right corner. It's all square here at the Excelsior. Airdrie with a deserved equaliser.
Haven't heard confirmation from Willie that Motherwell goal is stood. It has in what I've got in front of me, and it's gone down as an Angus MacDonald own goal. In that one, it was Lennon Miller's strike, but apparently VAR has chopped it off, so it stays 1-0 to Aberdeen. It's a handball decision that's gone against Motherwell, so it stays 1-0 to the visitors. We've only kept 4 clean sheets in their 29 and a bit games in the league this season, which is a horrific record. As Carter Vickers comes forward for Celtic, rolls it out to Nicholas Kuhn on the right hand side, level with the St Johnstone penalty spot. Still Celtic banging on the door here. Kuhn's cross comes in, Kyogo's header finds the net, and this time the flag stays down. Kyogo knocks it past Mitov to break the St Johnstone resistance. It has been coming, and Kyogo Furuhashi heads home his 15th of the season, and it is Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0.
Yeah, super goal. Good play from Kuhn out this right hand side. He cuts in, the defender stays off him and allows him to get a little dinky cross into the 6-yard box, a teasing cross, and you could see the goalkeeper, will I come or stay? He decided to come, but he was never going to get it before Kyogo. Kyogo darts in, timing perfect, and gets a header, puts it in the left-hand corner, and really good goal. But it's been common. Celtic have been peppering St Johnstone, I've got to say.
We said they're going to have to be patient. I said it was going to have to be precise. The cross, the pass that breaks St Johnstone's defence, and it was. Kuhn down this right, in swinging cross, absolutely perfect. Yeah, the goalie should maybe stay, but Kyogo gets there to knock in the net, and a possible offside getting checked.
Yeah, they've just announced that they're checking a possible offside. Of course, everything's checked while they're doing that. Let's go to Kerridine. There's been another goal at Rugby Park.
And another goal for St Mirren. Well, the Praise side should bring 2,500 fans with them everywhere they go, because their players have been absolutely inspired. Another corner, another poor bit of defending from Kilmarnock, and this time it was Mikael Mandron there to bundle the ball over the line. St Mirren thought they should have had a penalty a minute or so before that. Doesn't matter now. They've got their second goal anyway. 5 to go to half time. Kelly Neal, St Mirren 2.
Wow, that's an incredible scoreline for St Mirren. Kilmarnock have been so strong at home.
Yeah.
There you go, 2-0. They're still checking this, Packy.
They are, and it must be very, very tight, because they're taking their time. They must be drawing the lines from that perspective. The referee has got his hand to his ear. No, it's a goal. I think it's a goal.
Yeah, he's giving it. And whilst VAR can be frustrating to some, when it goes for you, it does give you that opportunity when you score a goal to have a second cheer about it. Celtic have the lead here against St Johnstone. And Kyogo, lovely header. What a great ball in it was too.
It was a difficult one for the goalkeeper, wasn't it? You know, do I come centre halves almost in between the goalkeeper and centre halves, but it was a sharpness then. Here's a chance again.
Just overhead by Maida. Right, so Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 3, Livingston 0, 2-0 St Mirren at Kilmarnock, 1-0 Aberdeen at Motherwell, with a goal ruled out, 0-0 in Dingwall between Ross County and Hearts. And the championship, in fact, let's just go back a little bit. Ian Alden, Dingwall.
Yeah, massive goal. Liam, the home side take the lead. Simon Murray, the former Hibs man, against Hearts. Toby Civic sleeping at the byline. He thought he'd done his work and made the defensive clearance, but Simon Murray doesn't give up, and he nipped in, took the ball off him and slotted past Xander Clark. 3 to play before half time. Ross County 1, Hearts 0.
Both Ross County and Aberdeen leading right now. County currently in the playoff position. Simon Murray's 15th goal of the season. Ross County 1, Hearts 0. Here's Maida on the far side for Celtic, who have a 1-0 lead here. It's Bernardo into Iwata. We'll go through the other scores in a moment, with Celtic on the attack again. Kuhn on this near side to Johnston. rolls it infield to Iwata, who turns it back to Welsh. Just 2.5 minutes left, less than that of the 45. There will be a couple added on because of the injury to Sven Sprangler earlier on that forced him off, as Kuhn comes towards the edge of the St Johnstone D, rolls it short to Taylor, squares it to Iwata, back to Carter Vickers. The championship here, G1 are both 1, Inverness 0, Ayr United 1. It is Partick Thistle 1, Morton 0. As Johnston's cross comes in, Kyogo couldn't quite find the finishing touch on this occasion, and Queen's Park goalless, with Raith Rovers, who could go to the top of the league after Dundee United's 3-1 defeat at Dunfermline last night. Edinburgh City have turned it around to lead 2-1 against Alloa in League One. Frankie Dean with the goal. It's only going to delay the inevitable for Edinburgh City should they manage to pick up the 3 points there, though. Hamilton 1, Stirling Albion 0, Kelty Hearts and Cove Rangers 0-0. Annan 1-0 up at Montrose. 5:30 start, Queen of the South, Falkirk at Palmerston, live on BBC Alpha this evening. Bonnyrigg 1, Clyde 0 in League 2. Forfar 0, Steny 1, Peterhead 1, East Fife 0. Dumbarton's been a load of goals at Ainsley. Spartans 1, Dumbarton 3 is now the scoreline there, and it's goalless Stranraer against Elgin City. Iwata with the ball in, and on the stretch Bernardo can't keep it in play, and it goes behind for the goal kick to St Johnstone, with Celtic leading this one. So Cammy Russell equalised against Dumbarton after Ryan Blair had opened the scoring. Goals from Linus and Lennon for Dumbarton. In fact, I think Spartans just pulled one back, so it's 3-2, 5 goals in the first half there. So quite the thriller going on in Pilton this afternoon. Closing stages of the first half here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland FM and Sounds, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. The half-time whistles will be going around the country shortly as Celtic get a free kick for an off-the-ball challenge over on the far side, level with the edge of the centre circle, and Dan Phillips has found himself in the book. I was praising him earlier on for being a good performer for St Johnstone, but he's struggled a little bit this afternoon. No surprise there, given St Johnstone's record against Celtic in recent years. They're on their worst ever run against them in the history of the Celtic St Johnstone fixture. 6 minutes have been added on. The sub, the injury stoppages, the VAR checks. 6 minutes, we're into the first of them now. The Celtic leading by a goal to nil. Here's Alistair Johnston on the near side, down the line for Kuhn. Slipping it back to Johnston, challenging well though is Graham Carey. Pokes it back into his own box for Considine and clears. And Graham Carey came through the Celtic ranks and at the same time as Niall McGinn and Paul McGowan broke into the first team under Tony Mowbray as Taylor launches it long, but it's sailed behind the goal kick, and it stays Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0.
Yes, and Johnson desperate to get in, Billy, isn't he? Just to get a breather. Every time they get a goal kick, they're almost a sigh of relief, because Celtic have, the tempo has been really, really good for them in this, definitely throughout the game, but in this last half hour, they've created numerous chances. They've got their goal, but St Johnstone just hanging in. They'd be delighted to get a 1-0.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Celtic. St Johnstone have made it difficult for them. I mean, they've had to show the patience I'm talking about, keep the tempo up. But I've been impressed with their movement, their darting runs from out to in, Kyogo's movement, and all been sharp busts, because they've no space to play in, so definitely deserve to be in front, and they've been excellent the way they've handled the game so far.
That second Spartans goal was scored by Bradley White in League 2, and of course that's a huge game in the playoffs. Spartans third, Dumbarton fourth, both on 45 points. Spartans with a better goal difference, be a huge win for Dumbarton. Of course, finishing higher up the table means you get the second leg of the playoff at home if you can finish above the other one. Third, fourth spots. Iwata picks up. It's half time at Easter Road. Hibs going Tonto on Livingston 3-0 is the half-time score there. That's better from a Hibs supporters point of view, because they have been frustrated. Here's Iwata with the square ball to Johnston. It's goals from Abita, Zani and Pondra for Hibs. Here comes Celtic, it's Kyogo nicking it into the box, Considine cutting it out, and then it breaks back off Kyogo out to this near side. Robinson's under pressure, he's had it nicked off by Kuhn. Level with the 6-yard line, back to the edge of the box. O'Reilly takes a touch, he shoots, it's blocked, and Considine clears. Penalty in Inverness, Hayley Davis.
Yes, it is indeed. Billy Mackay taken down in the box. I think it was Mark McKenzie that took them down.
There's a chance for Celtic, wide across, Kyogo knocks goes up, and I apologise to Ailey. I'm so sorry, but I had to do it. Ailey can finish updating us now.
Billy Mackay scoring that penalty, so we're all square here in the Highlands. Inverness, Cali, Thistle 1, Ayr United 1.
It's probably the only programme you get away with interrupting anyone.
You're so rude.
This one, I know, I feel bad. Half-time at Rugby Park, Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 2. Defeat for Killie, that's 2 huge games in a week they'll have lost. We've been out to the Cup last week. It's half-time in Dingwall as well. Ross County leading Hearts 1-0. Simon Murray. Now they're just checking the disallowed goal. It was flighted to the left-hand side of the box. Maida's diving header across the 6-yard line was tucked home by Kyogo, but it's a quick check, no goal, and it stays Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0. Celtic have been utterly dominant in this first half. There's been a late first half goal for Gully Singh to watch in that game between Airdrie and Arbroath.
Yes, it's all happening here, Liam. Airdrie have just taken the lead. It's now 2-1, Airdrie 2, Arbroath 1. Liam McStravick just before half-time. So Airdrie do take the lead.
Been behind. Here's Kuhn for Celtic. Into the box he goes. Little dink across is headed away by Ryan McGowan. And it breaks out to Alistair Johnston on this near side. It's Iwata who turns it back onto halfway for Carter Vickers. Shifting forward and rolling it out to the right-hand side for O'Reilly, to the overlapping Johnston. Back to O'Reilly, looks up, left foot, curling ball into the St Johnstone box. It's headed away by McGowan. Out to the far side, Maida keeps it in play. It's half-time at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. Leighton Clarkson with the only goal of the game there. We are burrowing our way through stoppage time here at Celtic Park. Celtic leading 1-0. A full half-time round-up shortly. 6 minutes were added. We've got a minute and a half left of it. Here's Kuhn on this near side. Short, low ball to Johnston at the right angle of the Saints box. Cleared by Robinson. Up towards Sidibe. He can't control it though under heavy pressure. And Welsh finds Taylor, who turns it out to the left-hand side for Maida. Maida taking on Keltians, the Israeli, on the far side. Half-time whistle's gone at New Broomfield as well. Airdrieonians turning it round to lead Arbroath 2-1. As Johnston finds Bernardo, and now it's with Taylor, who squares it to Iwata. Short ball to Taylor, and then to Johnston. Kuhn trying to stay onside if he can find him. He has done. Kuhn throws it across. Kyogo beats it. Beatno's there, but there's that offside flag again. And it stays Celtic 1, Saints 0. But look, the way Celtic play, they hang on the line. There's going to be loads of offsides.
There is, and I've got to say, this is the highest tempo I've seen them play for quite a while. Now, I missed the Dundee game here, so one that they won comprehensively, but I haven't seen this tempo for quite a while. Really, really good in this first half. Players running in behind. Even Kyogo's getting to that near post because he knows the ball's going to come there, and that. So that's the bit that I was trying to describe to Michael before the game that I think has been missing from the way that they play. But today it's there in abundance.
Today, isn't it? I mean, it's been incredible, their movement from wide areas, whether it's Kuhn, Maeda or Kyogo, just with those runs, and they've had to be patient, as I said, to wait for that right pass.
Just about half-time here. We're in added time at the end of the first half at Celtic Park as O'Reilly prods it back to Johnston. Infield to Iwata. He squares it left of the circle for Welsh. Goalless at Hampden between Queen's Park and Raith Rovers at half-time in the Championship. Keep up to date with the scores at any time. bbc.co.uk/sportscotland, of course, as Ewan Anderson brings to an end the first half here. The Celtic fans have enjoyed what they've been watching. This is the Celtic of last season, the season before, that we've witnessed today, and much to St Johnstone's annoyance, Celtic have been at it from the start. Just the one goal up though, scored by Kyogo. Lovely ball in from the right-hand side by Kuhn. Kyogo looped the header into the right corner of the net, and they've had other opportunities. They've had goals ruled out. They've had efforts cleared off the line. St Johnstone have been hanging on for most of that first half. They will be thankful, though, that they're still in the match at just a goal behind. But here at half-time at Celtic Park, ahead of a full roundup of what's going on across the SPFL, across the country, it is Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0.
All the action.
From all the biggest games.
This is Sports Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We promised you drama in the first halves, and certainly that has been delivered. I know Michael Stewart's got a lot to say in terms of one big call at Fir Park. So let's first of all get to Willie Miller and get the half-time report. Motherwell against Aberdeen, Willie.
Yes, Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1, and the first 25-30 minutes or so, Aberdeen were well in top. Surprising performance from Motherwell. I thought that they would have more energy, that they would track Aberdeen down much more. They've been content to sit back and allow Aberdeen most of the possession in that first half an hour, and the goal came in 25 minutes when Aberdeen were definitely in top. Majowski, the ball's down the left hand side, Kenny, it comes in. Majowski brilliantly with the left foot beyond the near post, but he somehow manages to whip it across the face. It comes off of that near post. It falls for Leighton Clarkson. Not an easy one for Clarkson to take because it's got a lot of pace on it, but the little midfielder gets his head over it, puts the laces through it, and rifles it into the back of the net to give Aberdeen that lead. And at that point, a very deserved lead. Motherwell had a couple of opportunities. Dan Casey had one that was a strike at the back post that was blocked by Nicky Devlin, who had to go off. Must have just caught his foot, perhaps twisted his knee ligaments. He had to go off. Vane had a magnificent pass to Nicholson down the left hand side. He takes it down. A fabulous volley from him with the left foot, but it's well saved by Kel Roos in goal. And then Motherwell get the goal. Well, they thought they had the goal. It's a really controversial one. It was Lennon Miller who struck it beautifully well with his left foot. Corner kick comes over to the back post, gets his head over it, strikes it. I think it takes a little deflection, goes into the back of the net, but then the referee is asked to go and have a look at the incident. From the corner, I think it's Theo Bair that goes up with Jack Milne. It clips Bair's arm right at the very top of his arm. The referee decides that that was enough to cancel the goal and give a free kick inside the box for Motherwell. So a sigh of relief for Aberdeen, but Motherwell must have been hugely disappointing. Majowski back to his usual form, a real threat, another couple of opportunities, a good shot with the left foot that was touched over by Kelly, and then an acrobatic overhead kick as well that was well blocked by the Motherwell defence. So here at half-time it is Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1.
Yeah, Michael Stewart, we're going to go around the rest of the ground, so just in a minute or so, your interpretation of what happened with that goal that was chopped off for the home side at Fir Park.
Shambles. I mean, they're killing the game. They really are. I think it's Theo Bair. The ball comes in from the wide area and he's just up for a challenge with the defender. It marginally flicks off his forearm, I think, drops to Lennon Miller at the back, who then has a shot that Angus MacDonald sticks into the back of the net. I mean, it's a goal for me, and nobody saw it in the in real time. It just feeds into this narrative for me, Willie, where VAR are just looking for things. They're looking for things. Nobody saw anything. VAR's, hold on, don't let the game play. We need to check something. Or it's maybe flicked his arm there. He's not the player, so it's not as if he's controlled it with his arm and he scores. It flicks off. I think he's even oblivious to it. Goes to Lennon Miller, and Lennon Miller hits it into the middle of the box, and MacDonald sticks it in the net.
He goes up with Jack Milne at the back post. I think maybe Milne gets a little touch on it, and Bair doesn't see it at all. He's oblivious to it. It comes off like his bicep. It looked like his bicep. It kind of brushes, and it's a magnificent strike from Lennon Miller. It takes a deflection, albeit I thought it was maybe that they were checking, but it wasn't. It was the handball, and the referee's asked to go over, have a look at it, and he just quashes the goal. Yep, disappointing.
Yeah, it could be some result for Aberdeen this afternoon. They are ahead at Fir Park. Next stop, Easter Road, and a real rout going on there, Brian McLaughlin.
Certainly is, Kenny. It's Hibernian 3, Livingston 0. The first time this season 3 goals have been scored by Hibernian in the league. Surprisingly, they only had to wait 5 minutes though for the opener. Joe Newell at the heart of it. Through ball to Liv Fondra. He played the ball into the 6-yard box. Jamie Brandon, Livingston defender, got there in time, but Obita nipped it off his toes and knocked the ball home into the empty net. 2 minutes later, the lead was doubled. Newell again with a pass, this time to Ewan. His cross met by Melida. 8 yards out, side-footed the ball into the back of the net. 21 minutes then, and again a very similar goal to the second actually. It's Cadden on the break, wonderful through ball inside the defender into the path of Ewan. Adam Lafondra at the back post this time to knock the ball home. Livingston have had a couple of half chances, you'd say. Nubly set up Montagno, the defender's cross along the 6-yard line though. Yenge had delayed his run into the box, and then there was a header by Obalai that hit the roof of the net. Adam Lafondra could easily have had a first half hat-trick. I expect more goals here in the second half. Half time though at Easter Road, Hibernian 3, Livingston 0.
Thank you to Brian McLaughlin. We gave it the big build up at Rugby Park this afternoon. Certainly a big crowd there, Kerridine Idsan, and so far the game has delivered.
It has not disappointed at all, unless of course you're a Kilmarnock fan looking at a scoreboard that reads Killie 0, St Mirren 2. There can't have been too many occasions in the recent past when Kilmarnock have been 2-0 down at half time on their own plastic pitch, but they can't have any complaints this afternoon. They've been outplayed and outfought so far by an inspired St Mirren team who've given the noisy, colourful 2,500 strong travelling support exactly what they wanted. Normally Killie are pretty solid and robust in defence, not so today. 2 St Mirren corners, 2 goals, both taken, the corners that is, by Greg Kiltie, both poorly dealt with by the home defence, allowing first defender Charles Dunn to blast in his first ever goal for the club, and then 6 minutes before half time Michael Mandron to side foot in at the back post. Irishman Caelan Boyd Munson, his white boots have been sparkling in the middle of the park alongside captain Mark O'Hara, while the only thing the visiting keeper Zach Hemmings had to do was spring well to his left to keep out a Marley Watkins header at 1-0 down. That was a super save. It's been a super Saints performance thus far, and while it's unlikely to be rubber stamped today, St Mirren at this rate are surely nailing down a top 6 spot for the second consecutive season. 2-0 up at half-time here in Ayrshire.
Thanks to Kerridine Idsan. Next up, Dingwall. Ross County at home to Hearts there for us. Ian Auld.
Yeah, half-time here in Dingwall, Kenny, and for the second time in 4 days, Ross County lead at the interval against a team from Edinburgh. The Staggies did start well and should have been in front with 6 minutes on the clock. Simon Murray whipped in a ball from the right-hand side, only for Jordan White to somehow scoop over Xander Clark's crossbar from yards out. Hearts captain Lawrence Shankland went close on 9 minutes when he was slipped in by Kenneth Vargas, but he lashed the ball wide of George Wicken's left-hand post. The Ross County goalie was helpless 6 minutes before the break when Vargas took aim from the edge of the county box, but his effort came back off the woodwork and bounced away to safety. The Jambos left to rue those chances as County took the lead with 3 minutes before the break. Toby Civic tried to usher the ball out of play at the byline, in-nipped the pest Simon Murray even, to take the ball off his toes and slotted beyond Xander Clark. County in the driving seat. Half-time score here, Ross County 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, that could be a huge result for the home side there. So in the Premiership, half-time, Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 3, Livingston 0, Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 2, Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1, Ross County 1, Hearts 0. Let's get into the Championship and get to Firhill. Partick Thistle against Morton. A half-time report from Kasim Sheikh.
Third against fourth here, Partick Thistle taking on Greenock Morton, and it's been very much Partick Thistle in the first half. Very dominant from early in the game. Adam Fitzpatrick's been causing a lot of problems down the left-hand side for Greenock Morton, and it was after 13 minutes that Brian Graham had the first great shot of the game that was excellently saved by Mullen in goal for Greenock Morton. Thereafter, it's continued to be pressing from Partick Thistle, and after 28 minutes, Greenock Morton lost the ball just inside their own half, and the captain again, Brian Graham, got hold of it, took it forward and banged a lovely right-footed shot into the bottom right corner of the keeper's goal. Just about to kick off here for the second half. As things stand, Partick Thistle 1, Greenock Morton 0.
Thanks, Kasim. Next stop, we will go to the National Stadium, Queen's Park at home to Raith Rovers. Let's hear from Amy Canavan.
Afternoon, Kenny. Yeah, it seems no one wants to win the Scottish Championship this season, does it? The second half has just kicked off here at Hampden. Queen's Park 0, Raith Rovers 0. A win, of course, takes Rovers top after Dundee United's rather drab defeat to Dunfermline last night. Perhaps they're feeling the pressure. The visitors have looked a little bit nervous at times, but a 10-minute spell smack in the middle of the half where they peppered the Queen's Park box via their uber-talented forwards, Easton Stanton, Turner Vaughan, all having pops. But Spiders grew into it. Sean Welsh went close, and Captain Tom Domus has had multiple strikes from the edge of the area as well. KJ, I think, would be the word of the half from Hampden. And we're just back underway. It's Queen's Park 0, Raith Rovers 0.
Thank you to Amy Canavan there. Let's then get to Airdrie against Arbroath and hear from Gully Singh.
Thanks, Kenny. Airdrie currently occupying 4th spot now, this after the returns with a 2-1 lead here. The visitors, though, are both took the lead on 16 minutes. Charlie Riley's through ball split the defence. Ryan Dow clean through, took his time and his chance to roll the ball past Robbie Hemprey, the former Motherwell shot stopper, on his debut. Adam Frizzell, the Airdrie captain, looks certain to score for the home side. A ball laid back from the byline. His side footed it. He clipped the bar to Max Borich's relief on 28 minutes. A potential second for Arbroath. Mark Stowe, the substitute against the run of play, took the ball to the byline, cut the ball back, keeper just getting a hand to it. But Aaron Lyle found the net for the home side to draw level. A square pass from Kaneo Megwa. He slotted the ball into the bottom right hand corner on 39 minutes before Airdrie's Liam McStravick took the ball under control, rounds the keeper, slots it home just before the half time whistle. So yes, Airdrie 2, Arbroath 1.
Thanks to Gully. Let's then get to the Highlands. A big game there this afternoon. Inverness, Cally Thistle at home to Ayr United. Let's hear from Ailey Davies.
Yeah, the home side starting really well in this one. They have such a poor home record, of course, and Duncan Ferguson looking to change that today. Max Anderson with a decent effort early on. It was just turned behind by Ayr keeper Josh Clark, but then down the other end on 5 minutes, across in from the left, and George Stanger able to just tap into the bottom corner to put the visitors in front. Few chances after that, and then into added on time just ahead of half time. Billy Mackay coming together. It was with Harry McHugh. Now maybe a contentious one, but referee Ian Snedden pointing at the spot. Mackay taking that penalty kick, sending Clark the wrong way. So all square here in the Highlands as it stands, just a couple of minutes into the second half. It's Inverness, Cally Thistle 1, Ayr United 1.
Thanks, Ailey. So in the Championship, Airdrie 2, Arbroath 1, Cally Thistle 1, Ayr United 1, Partick Thistle 1, Morton 0, Queen's Park 0, Raith Rovers 0. In League 1, Edinburgh City 2, Alloa Athletic 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Stirling Albion 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Cove Rangers 0, Montrose 0, Annan Athletic 1. 5:30 start, Queen of the South at home to Falkirk. And in League 2 this afternoon, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Clyde 0, Forfar Athletic 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Peterhead 1, East Fife 0, Spartans 2, Dumbarton 3, Stranraer 0, Elgin City 0. Stranraer down to 10 men. In England, the half-time score, Burnley 1, Brentford 0, Brentford down to 10 men. Luton Town 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and there was an early kick-off in the FA Cup. Quite the game, quite the finish. Wolves 2, Coventry City from the Championship 3. So that's you right up to date with all the latest scores. We'll bring them, of course, to you throughout commentary in the second half on Sports, and we're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. A commentary match, it's Celtic against St Johnstone. Let's get back to our team there. Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Celtic players are back out on the pitch, just waiting on the visitors. Champions with that 1-0 lead. Look to continue their excellent run against the Perth side. St Johnstone's last win here, the 4th of March 15. Danny Swanson scored the only goal. It's just 2 wins here since 1998. Dave Mackay netted the winner in 2011, and their only other victory, apart from that one, Danny Swanson's antics. A really memorable goal, which he flew past Craig Gordon into the top right corner. On that occasion, the Saints players are back out now. Celtic know a win today would put them a point clear of Rangers, who go to Dundee tomorrow. They have dropped points in 4 of their 14 home league games this season, and one of those games the opposition was St Johnstone, who are within a goal of them. So a hugely difficult challenge, not an impossible one. They'll hope Celtic aren't as good in the second half as they were in the first, and it will be the home team to kick off in the green and white hoops, right to left, shooting towards the Jockstein stand. Saints will shoot east, left to right in their blue shirts with the white pinstripes, and it's rolled back the way to Iwata. Generally benign conditions, a slight breeze in the air, it's grey skies above. Celtic pick up with Maida, no changes to either lineup at the start of the second half. It's rolled in field to Bernardo. I'll keep you up to date with what's going on across the country elsewhere, with the second half getting underway. We're a few minutes behind here actually And there's been a very early goal in the second half in Dingwall for Ian Hall to watch.
It's another Simon Murray goal. It's another Ross County goal. They lead now by 2 goals to 0. A wonderful work ball down the left-hand side. Josh Reid fired it in, and Simon Murray lashed at it from 12 yards. Zander Clark, no chance. Ross County.
Here's a chance for Celtic. Across from Kyogo and touched home into the net by Kuhn. He's just a couple of yards out. Mitov stranded, and Nicholas Kuhn could not miss. And Celtic double their lead early in the second half here. Celtic 2, St Johnstone 0. Packy Bonner.
Yeah, just a ball played in behind, and St Johnstone defence got stranded. I thought he hesitated initially. He thought there would be somebody almost up against him, but he realised that there was nobody, and then he carried on and played that ball across the 6-yard box for the simple tap in, almost in the middle of the goal, and really good start for Celtic, Billy.
But it's all about that movement again. I mean, they're sitting so deep, but it's Kyogo first who just is that little burst, 10 yards, gets himself into the box, left-hand side, and then you watch Kuhn from the right. He just gets himself out 10 again and gets himself a tap in. I've said it all along. They've been stuffy, St Johnstone. They've made it difficult. They're sat deep. Celtic have had to show patience, but the movement has been excellent all game.
That's a classic goal that Celtic scored under Postecoglou so often. And Kyogo involved in that. Let's dip into the Championship and go to Firhill. Kazim Sheikh watching. Partick Thistle Morton.
Partick Thistle have gone 2-0 up here. A wonderful, a nicely worked goal. The captain again, Brian Graham, held the ball up in the middle of the park there, played it out to the right. Stephen Wallace got hold of it, ran down the right hand side, cut it back beautifully, and very well taken on the right foot by Scott Robinson. It's now 2-0 to Partick Thistle here against Greenock Morton.
Well, early goals to go 2-0 up for Partick Thistle, for Ross County, and for Celtic. You have a corner here. It's flicked half away, back to the edge of the box by Iwata. The Bernardo, who goes all the way back to the edge of the centre circle for Alistair Johnston. Rolls its side foot out to the right hand side for O'Reilly, and back to Johnston, and now out to the touchline for Kuhn. Some latecomers to their seats. Missed Nicholas Kuhn's first Celtic Park goal. Scored at Pittodrie. Deflected effort as the referee Ewan Anderson gives St Johnstone a free kick. It's to the left hand side of their box.
I wondered whether Kuhn could build on his performance last week, and he has, to be fair. He laid on the first goal. He's been a threat down that right hand side. He's got his goal, got himself in there, sharpness, thinking about the game. So they've obviously worked very, very hard on him. To be fair to him, though, he's obviously taken into information and he's responded, and that's what he's got to do week in, week out, and that's why he comes to this club.
Yeah, it takes a while, doesn't it, to get involved. This is just his 8th match. There's been another goal at Airdrie, which we're going to find out about in a moment. St Johnstone up the pitch here with Carey, challenged well though by Bernardo. Let's go to Gully Singh, who's watching that game in Airdrie.
Yes, an early goal here at the Excelsior in the second half. Mason Hancock, a glancing header. He extends the lead to make it 3-1. Airdrie getting a grip on 4th spot in the Scottish Championship.
Yeah, striker for St Johnstone, Sabet. He needs to be careful. He's been booked. I think it was him that was booked with the elbow on Stephen Walsh.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, yep. And he's had a few now. He's up on his own. It's a difficult task for him. Yeah. He's putting himself around, but just his timing and some of the tackles, got to be careful.
Yeah, he's worked ever so hard, but you're right, Pat. He's just got to be careful now, not getting any silly challenges.
Got Celtic down the right hand side with Kuhn, level with the 6-yard line, now level with the penalty spot. Back to Johnston, he fires the cross in. It's too deep, and it sails behind for the goal kick, but it is 2-0 to Celtic. And had to interrupt Ian there. He was bringing us news from Dingwall. Ross County 2-0 up against Hearts. Simon Murray with both goals, and that could be massive, particularly with Aberdeen winning. And now, given Aberdeen just 1-0 up against Motherwell, County will be hoping that Well can get back on at least level terms in that game. If Aberdeen don't win that one, they're under some serious pressure. So there's only 3 points between them at the bottom. County well on their way to the 3 points.
Makes that second half ever so crucial for Aberdeen at Fir Park just to hold on to that lead now.
Too right, it does. It's going to be a free kick to Celtic down below us. 5 minutes into the second half. That goal scored by Kuhn just at the end of the first minute of the second half. And Celtic very much in the driving seat here. Craig Levein perhaps already beginning to contemplate the 2 weeks during the international break that he's going to have to think about their next fixture. They host Dundee in the derby on Saturday the 30th. Celtic come down the right with Johnston. His cross cut out by Phillips, who heads it away over on that far side. Celtic pitch it back, though they're hungry for more, and who knows how important goal difference will be. O'Reilly's here, pulls it across, only half away, and eventually it's cleared round about the penalty spot. Currently the goal difference in the as it stands table is bang level, with Celtic and Rangers both on plus 48. Rangers have a game in hand to be played at Dens Park tomorrow. Celtic have it with Johnston on the right hand side, level with 18, back to Iwata. Short ball to Bernardo, then out to Johnston, gets it from Iwata into Bernardo, to Johnston, to Iwata. A long old second half this for St Johnstone. Johnston's ball across is cut out and clear by Liam Gordon. It's coming back into the Saints box eventually, though it is cleared. And just to confirm, Airdrie Orients 3, Arbroath 1 in the Championship. So we're hearing from Gully just a moment ago. We'll go through the other divisions in a moment as Kyogo comes forward, smashes his shot off the underside of the bar, and it bounces to safety. Could so easily have bounced over the line.
Yeah, Celtic have carried on what they have done in the first half here. They're making chances.
Yeah.
You know, that's 2-3 they've scored, but they've also made 2 or 3 really good chances. That was a really good strike from Kyogo. I thought it bounced down. It must have been right on the line when it came down off the crossbar and bounced back out.
It's everything about it again, isn't it? It's a pass from O'Reilly, a little reverse. It's a Kyogo movement. Then when he gets there, I think he should score, but he's crashed it off the underside of the bar.
Scott Taggart has equalised for Alloa at Edinburgh City, and Hamilton Accies have gone 2-0 up. Hakeem Rose with the goal, Accies 2, Stirling Albion 0. Accies looking good for second spot. Division very good. Stirling Albion, well, we're just trying to stave off the threat of the relegation playoff place, which they're only 2 points above at the moment. They'll be nervously looking over their shoulders, particularly with Annan Athletic leading at Links Park against Montrose. Queen of the South are embroiled in that as well. Host the league leaders Falkirk in the 5:30 kickoff in League One. Celtic pick up with Johnston wide on the right hand side, picked up here by Kuhn, level with the 6-yard line, right hand side of the St Johnstone box, comes back to O'Reilly, takes the ball in and just evades Kyogo and Maida, and it's picked up by Taylor on this left hand side, level with the penalty spot, rolling it across low, sliding in to clear is Liam Gordon, and St Johnstone will be able to get it away. They just simply cannot get a hold of the ball whatsoever. Celtic 2, St Johnstone 0, 53 and a half on the clock.
That's down to Celtic though. Any time that St Johnstone get a tackle and break up play, Celtic are all over it, we get it back. I think you're right with this goal difference.
Ryan Blair's made it 4-2 to Dumbarton at Spartans in League 2. East Fife are level against Peterhead. Alan Troughton continuing to score in the lower leagues. Has equalised for the Fifers at Balmoors with Peterhead 1, East Fife 1. Gully's got a goal fest in Airdrie. Gully.
Yeah, it's a 5th goal here just when you thought Airdrie had put some distance between themselves and Arbroath. The visitors find a response. Ryan Dow with the ball across the face of goal. David Gold latched on, slotted home. Arbroath back in this game. 3-2 to Airdrie, the bottom championship side not going down without a fight.
I know it sounds like Gully's broadcasting from his bathroom, but that is the situation at New Broomfield Excelsior. You're right back at the back of the stand in a room. It does sound like you're inside.
Like a wee hospitality box.
Perhaps he is. Perhaps he is. Never done it myself.
It's a way to watch football, let me tell you.
Never done it. Perhaps one day. I know you like your prawn sandwiches, Dodgy.
You get your well-earned cash out there, will you?
10 into the second here. Celtic 2, St Johnstone 0, and the weather was forecast to produce rain. That's exactly what's happened now. It was bizarrely a pleasant morning in the west coast of Scotland, but the rain has come on as Carey slides it down the right hand side for Keltins. He gets away from Maida, rolls it back the edge of the Celtic box for Phillips, turns it back the way. Here's an opportunity still for Matty Smith. Where it comes, right hand side for Keltins. He's beaten to it by Greg Taylor though. Taylor down by his own byline. clears when it comes off the St Johnstone player, breaks to Carey. It's cross ball cut out by Bernardo, and behind for St Johnstone's first corner of the afternoon, which arrives in the 56th minute, 2-0 down.
Yeah, it was a good little spell from St Johnstone. They committed players forward. They were, in fact, at the back. I think they were only 1v1 at the back at times. They were just wide open for the counter-attack, but they kept the ball. They've won their corner. It gives them a little opportunity.
Elgin City 1-0 up against 10-man Stranraer as the corner comes in for Saints. Drops to Liam Gordon, back to Phillips. They can't quite get the shot away. Phillips does in the end. Comes off Bernardo, and it spins behind for St Johnstone's second corner of the match, which comes seconds after the last one. Let's find out what's going on at Rugby Park. I hear there's been another goal. Are Kilmarnock back in the match, and have St Mirren put it to bed? Kennedy.
They are back in the match. Game on at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2 on the hour. A big hoof up the pitch. Route 1 football. St Mirren, unusually for them today, couldn't deal with it back, and Vassell was there at the second attempt to prod the ball home. 2-1 here at Rugby Park.
Kyle Vassell halving the deficit and breathing new life into Kilmarnock. St Mirren still leading 2-1. They haven't won at Rugby Park since May 2013. It's incredible. John McGinn was amongst the scorers. Paul McGowan, Connor Newton got the others. It'll be a corner again to St Johnstone, and it comes punched away by Hart. Carey keeps it alive, firing it first time back out to the far side. He can't find Smith, and it goes out for a throw-in to Celtic deep inside their own half over on that right-hand side. So Celtic 2-0 up now. It's probably the best attacking moment of the match for St Johnstone. There's been a goal at the Cali Stadium, Ailey.
Yes, indeed there has, and it's for the visitors. They go in front for the second time this afternoon. This time it was Fraser Bryden on 61 minutes, a very busy box. He was the man that got his foot on it, came off the bar but went in. So as it stands, Inverness Cali Thistle 1, Ayr United 2.
Another huge game between those two. Again, similar position in the league. Cali Thistle 9th on 31 points, Ayr 8th on 32. So that could be a little bit of daylight that Ayr United are putting between themselves and Cali Thistle. We will wait and see. Plenty of time still to play in that one, as there is across the country. Celtic 2-0 up here and cruising. As Coon picks up on the far side.
St Johnstone just have made a little change. They pushed Graham Carey a little bit further forward. He was playing more down the left-hand side, can almost go back into a back six, but that hasn't worked for them, so he's kind of pushed onto Awata and trying to support the main striker at times. Whether that'll work or not too sure, but it has allowed him to come into the game a little bit more.
I mentioned Stranraer down to 10 men against Elgin, now behind as well. So Stranraer 0, Elgin City 1 in League 2. I'll run you through the scorelines. You can get them at any time. bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, as well as live as it stands league tables. As Carter Vickers picks up in the centre circle, rolls it to the right for Johnston, chasing down the right-hand side is Kuhn. Looking to get away from Kucheryavi's inside the box, where he wins the corner off the St Johnstone midfielder.
That's been a difference, Liam, with Kuhn, that I've seen since when he came to the club first. He was reluctant to get to the byline. It was almost keep the ball, be safe, be secure. Now he's taking people on, and that makes a big difference.
You mentioned earlier, though, he does look fitter, game time, sharper.
In comes the corners, headed away pretty decisively there by Keltins, as the second attempt there for Keltins to clear is decent as well, and St John's to get it away. There's a penalty at Rugby Park, which I'll bring you news of in a moment, but Carter Vickers has won it back for Celtic, and they come down the right hand side here with Kuhn level with the penalty spot, looking to find space to cross, pulls it back to O'Reilly, right hand side of the box, fires it across, cut out by Considine. Kuhn to O'Reilly, to Kuhn, he's at the edge of the penalty area, looking to get the break of the ball off Dan Phillips, who wins it back for St Johnstone. Then he loses it on the far side, and eventually the referee gives Celtic a free kick. Kennedy at Rugby Park.
This match might be about to turn completely around in the space of 4 minutes. Kilmarnock have a penalty. Flynn's foul on Marley Watkins. The green boots of Danny Armstrong are about to step up and take this one. Referee's getting everyone back in their places outside the 18-yard box. So Kilmarnock, having got a goal back from Kyle Vassell 4 minutes ago, having been 2-0 down at half-time, Danny Armstrong, hands on hips, about to take this penalty kick for Kilmarnock. Can they get themselves back level already? Referee's still not happy. Ross Hardy just allowing him to take it now. Danny Armstrong against Zach Hemming. Goal! Kilmarnock, bottom right-hand corner. What a turnaround. Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2.
9th goal of the season for Danny Armstrong, and they are all square. Kilmarnock coming from 2 goals down and back to 2-2 against St Mirren, who were 2 to the good at the interval. Celtic are 2 to the good here, almost on 61. They're taking an age for this free kick here. Whole Kilmarnock penalty incident, time to round as O'Reilly smashes for goal. The goalkeeper gets a little touch onto it, and that will be a corner. Stays Celtic 2, St Johnstone 0.
Yeah, it was a good strike. TV save. Straight, almost a head height, and just above his head, and he just flicks it over the crossbar.
Well, I didn't think the goalkeepers union would say things like that.
I was thinking the same.
Just catch it.
I'm just glad you got arrested, Liam. You're getting pulled all over the place, a bit like the St Johnstone defence today.
Well, here comes the corner in towards Carter Vickers. Celtic are unrelenting, which is making it all the busier as Kuhn picks up on this near side. Low ball in field to Taylor. Square to Bernardo. He's forced back towards the halfway line. He finds Carter Vickers. He finds Taylor. He finds Bernardo to Kuhn. Via Taylor to Bernardo at the byline, challenged by Phillips, and out for a Celtic throw-in on this near side. And St Johnstone are going to make a couple of changes now as well, by the looks of things, and understand why Craig Levein want to do that. Celtic are going to make a double change as well. So firstly, for the home team, Forrest and Kelly are coming on. Kuhn is coming off. He doesn't look too happy about being withdrawn, and it looks as though Paolo Bernardo is the other Celtic player to come off. Craig Levein's going to make a couple of changes as well. For Sainties, Tony Gallagher is one of the players who is going to be making his way onto the pitch, and Benjamin Kimpioka is the other one. So 2 changes for both sides. James Forrest came on. He was excellent when he came on against Livingston in the Cup last week. He's going to get, well, the guts of half an hour to impress again. And Saints changes. Sidibe, who's on a booking as well, is going to come off. Kimpioka will replace him, and Gallagher is going to come on as well. And it looks as though Luke Robinson, who actually had a decent first half, is going to be replaced by Gallagher. So changes for both. And Brendan Rodgers, Packiplo, just looking to try and keep the freshness, keep the pace of the game up and making those changes.
Yeah, well, listen, Kuhn will be disappointed he's come off, because he's played well in the game, I've got to say. But James Forrest last week made a huge difference coming off the bench, and if we want to get game time into James Forrest too, because he might have a huge impact to make in a run in here from that perspective. Obviously, Bernardo in the middle of the pitch, and Daniel Kelly, young man who'll work up and down that sort of left-hand side, and I know Billy Stark has got him in the under-19 squad. He goes away this week coming for their competition, and he'll be desperate he doesn't get any injuries.
Clyde have turned it round against Bonnyrigg. A double from Jordan Allen, who's on loan from Falkirk. He scored doubles against Stenhousemuir and Elgin City in recent weeks. So Clyde, having trailed Bonnyrigg, are 2-1 up now. And as it stands table, is Ian McCall's men to within 3 points of Bonnyrigg and Stranraer. Now if they seal the 3 points in that one, it's very much game on at the bottom of League Two. And of course those clubs desperate to avoid the pyramid playoff system. As Maida flicks on inside the St Johnstone box, Kyogo gets onto it on the left hand side of the area, leaves it for Taylor, and now it's Kelly. His first team goal recently. He finds Kyogo, and now it is Taylor who shoots. It's pretty timid, and it's a comfortable save in the end for Dimitar Mitov. 5-2 Dumbarton now in that bottom tier against Spartans at Ainsley, and Elgin have gone 2-0 up against a toiling Stranraer as well, who I mentioned are very much looking over their shoulder now. In the Premiership, Celtic 2, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 3, Livingston 0, Kilmarnock against St Mirren has been some game. Last we heard it was 2-2. Maybe get an update from Kerridine shortly to see how that game's going, because it's clearly been a very different match since half-time. Aberdeen 1-0 up at Motherwell. Ross County 2-0 up at home to Hearts. In the Championship, Airdrie 3, Arbroath 2. Celtic get it back, poor from St Johnstone. O'Reilly goes for a goal across the face, and will go out for a throw into St Johnstone on this near side. Cali Thistle 1, Ayr United 2, Partick Thistle 2, Morton 0, Queen's Park goalless with Wraith Rovers. 2-2 in League 1, Edinburgh City, Alloa. Hamilton 2, Stirling Albion 0, Kelty 0, Cove Rangers 1, Morton 0 and an Athletic 1. League 2, Bonnyrigg 1, Clyde 2, Forfar 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Peterhead 1, East Fife 1, Spartans 2, Dumbarton 5, and Stranraer 0, 10-man Stranraer 0, Elgin City 2.
Going back to that chance, it was brilliant from O'Reilly, just right up in the game, nicked it 1-2, got it back, and you're right, Pat, he did square it, but he just got too much height on it. If he just kept it low, it was another tap in for Kyogo.
Celtic have it with Iwata, and it's picked up by Greg Taylor, who rolls it forward to James Forrest. Out to this near side, looking for Maida. Maida's onto it, pushes it down the touchline there for Kelly. Kelly back to Greg Taylor. Taylor looking for some movement ahead of him, finds it in O'Reilly. His ball forward is cleared there by Andrew Considine. Now with Taylor out to Johnston on the far side. Johnston for Forrest. Forrest out to Johnston, midway inside the St Johnstone half. He turns it all the way back to Iwata. We're approaching 67 minutes here. Little dummy collected on the far side, and it's with Forrest again, infield to Johnston. Pinch back by Graham Carey, who goes long. We're going to try and get Kimpioka involved, but he can't get onto it. Carter Vickers with an easy steal back. Now it's Iwata to Taylor. Long ball looking for Forrest, going to come all the way through to Mitov. Stays 2-0 Celtic. And by the way, Kilmarnock, we can't get to Kerridine at the moment. You must be away doing the TV results programme. Kilmarnock have gone 3-2 up against St Mirren. Marley Watkins with the goal. Kilmarnock 3, St Mirren 2. I did notice that a couple of minutes ago. It's only now we're able to confirm it though.
Some comeback that. Going back to this game, here's a chance for Celtic.
Well, yeah, here's a chance. James Forrest takes a touch and shoots and scores! James Forrest with a wonderful finish with the left foot as well, as he smashes it past Mitov. He's got a wonderful goal-scoring record against St Johnstone. He has more goals against the Perth Saints than anyone else in his career, and it's been a long and illustrious one in the green and white of Celtic. And it's now Celtic 3, St Johnstone 0.
Yeah, what a finish. Great finish, great pick out. Space on the right hand side, and he picks him out, James Forrest. One touch out from his feet and bang in the back of the net with that left foot. The goalkeeper had no chance. Put Celtic in a real commanding position. This game could be anything now.
Just relentless, aren't they? And I was just going to touch on Liam, every time St Johnstone try to make a pass, Celtic are up on them, whether they're nicking it high up or whether it's just booted forward and one of their centre halves step in front. Welsh, I know it's a small thing, but Welsh and Carter Vickers, I watched Brendan Rodgers applauding them because I'm thinking, okay, they clear it, another attack, and they've been constant, and then they nicked that one, squared. What a great left foot finish from Forrest. Really, really good strike from distance.
Billy, I was going to say that I'm watching Kyogo, I'm watching the reaction Kyogo, Maeda and these players. I haven't seen them close down as much as they've done in this game. Every single time the ball comes, I think they came off that a little bit in the last while. Whether that's a mentality, whether that's an attitude, whether that's just lack of confidence or something. But today, every single player has been on that part of the game. And when they're on that part of the game, the rest takes care of itself.
Wow, what a capitulation at Rugby Park. It looks as though Kilmarnock have scored a fourth to lead St Mirren 4-2. We'll get confirmation of that shortly, hopefully, as St Johnstone come down the right-hand side with Keltians to the edge of the penalty area as they look for something back. But this game's done. Celtic are going to win it. Keltians with a little chip into the Celtic boxes, cleared by Welsh, and it will be picked up by Forrest. And it's Forrest with the low ball infield to Iwata. If I could get confirmation of the Kilmarnock fourth goal in just a moment, that would be great. Airdrieonians, though, there's been another goal in that match. Gully Singh.
Yes, it's the sixth goal of this game. Airdrie 4, Arbroath 2. Nikolai Todorov with a header. A great save from Max Boric, but the ball fell to Charlie Telfer. His follow-up made it 4-2. So it looks like all 3 points are staying with the home side. Airdrie 4, Arbroath 2.
Well, there you go. Airdrie easing their way to the points as St Johnstone do a bit of defending out on the left-hand side. Oh, ball forward and then back out to the left for Gallagher, who dinks it up towards halfway. Comes all the way through to Welsh. Under no pressure just now, and it's played to Greg Taylor, left-hand side of the box. And it is Celtic in possession down the right with Alistair Johnston. Johnston has it and finds Forrest. Scored a fine third goal for Celtic. 71 on the clock here. And 3-0 it is to the champions. As McGowan picks it up and rolls it into the midfield. Carey's been robbed though by Maida. Looks for Kyogo. Liam Gordon with the slide challenge and knocks it up towards halfway. And now it's with Matt O'Reilly. It's just been a procession really in this second half, Packy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has so. And, you know, as I said, St Johnstone changed a little bit, putting Kerry higher up the pitch to go to 5 at the back. In the first half, they had 6 at the back. I think you have 10 at the back across that line, and Celtic's still there. They're back in again.
Chance O'Reilly across. Maida's onto it, little back heel. Tried to find Kelly, but St Johnstone have enough numbers behind that to get it away.
Yeah, and it's about movement. It's about penetrating passes. Everything that you want from a Celtic team today, they've given it. And it's a pleasure actually to watch them play at this sort of level. It hasn't been there for a lot of games, but today it's been a treat.
Here is Greg Taylor for Celtic. Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 2. That's an astonishing scoreline. Absolutely astonishing, Billy.
In such a crucial game as well. Both pushing for that 5th spot. You were talking about leaving Europe out of it. Then to go 2-0 down. A real spirit about Kilmarnock. It's a spirit about St Mirren as well. That's why it's such a good game.
Here comes Kelly for Celtic, left-hand side of the penalty area. It's rolled back the way for Greg Taylor. Taylor then back to Iwata. Goes back the way to Welsh. Left-hand central area. Squaring it for Johnston. And now it's Welsh. Johnston back to Welsh and back to Iwata. Let's go to Fir Park. That game very much on a knife edge with Aberdeen leading by a goal to nil. Willie's probably beginning to have thoughts of Paisley a few weeks ago right now. Willie Miller.
Yeah, Aberdeen are hanging on, Liam. Theo Baird has had 3 opportunities, 2 strikes, 2 very good saves from Kel Roos, and then a header that agonisingly for Motherwell just slid by the back post. Aberdeen definitely hanging on. Motherwell throwing everything at them, so far unsuccessful, but that Aberdeen box has been pummeled at this moment in time, but they're standing firm, still 1-0 for the visitors.
Loads of subs happening here again. St Johnstone are going to make a double change. Smith and May will come on, and Celtic are going to bring on Holm, we haven't seen for a while, and Adam Ida. Packy.
Yeah, freshening it up. Obviously he wants to keep momentum going, but I think he wants also to give players the opportunity. Obviously St Johnstone trying to make a change to just to freshen Graham Kerry's legs. Probably he hasn't, you know, he's getting older now, isn't he, you know, and he's got Stevie May to come off the bench, and he'll play exactly the same position, high up the pitch, trying to support the main striker. But Adam Maida on for Celtic.
Sorry, Packy, Hearts have pulled one back against Ross County in Dingwall. Ross County 2, Hearts 1 is the score line. So Celtic 3, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 3, Livingston 0. All 3 goals coming in the first half of that one. An incredible game on the match of the weekend, you'd have to say, certainly of the day. Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 2. Saints led 2-0 at the break. Kilmarnock have turned it round and some to lead 4-2. That Hearts goal apparently has been chalked off after a VAR check, so Ross County continue to lead 2-0. We heard from Willie talking about the match at Fir Park. That just shows you and underlines how important it is that Aberdeen hold on to the lead given to them by Leighton Clarkson. If they don't, they're going to be in all kinds of trouble. County breathing down their neck. They're not already in all kinds of trouble. Kucheravi here for St Johnstone with 15 minutes to play, and Celtic leading by 3-0.
Yeah, and just a change again at the back for Celtic. They've brought off Carter Vickers. They put Iwata back into that position. O'Reilly sit in Iwata's position as the holding midfield player.
Free kick Celtic, which Iwata will take, and he'll shift it to the left of the centre circle here for Taylor, who goes back to O'Reilly, right of the centre circle, and on to Alistair Johnston over on that far side. Now with Forrest. Finds O'Reilly. O'Reilly under pressure's been put under too much pressure because he's given it away, and St Johnstone have a chance here to counter with Stevie May driving down the left. Are 2-2. Kimpioka up in support. May goes himself, but it's blocked by Welsh. Comes out to May on the far side, and it goes out of play for a throw in. Quite the goal fest for Gully at Airdrie.
Yes, it continues to rain goals as it does rain from the skies. Max Borucci completely misses a Telford cross there, Charlie Telford cross, and Craig Watson heads it in after 77 minutes to make it Airdrie 5, Arbroath 2.
bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland for all the scores at any time you want them. The live league tables there as well, as Celtic pick up a throw-in over on that right-hand side level with their own 18-yard line. But that James Forrest goal, I think at 2-0 it was done. At 3-0 it's absolutely certainly done, and Celtic will be returning to the top of the Premiership. And that's all they would have wanted to do today, Packies. Try and put a little bit of pressure on Rangers, who go to Dundee tomorrow lunchtime.
Yes, of course, and that's going to be the way it's going to be till the end of the season now. Whoever plays first, they'll try and put pressure on the team that comes the day after in that particular game. So Rangers will have to go to Dundee now and perform and get a result. And they're coming off a European night also that they got beat, so that'll be a bit of a test for them. But from Selly's perspective, today was about the result, but it was about they've got the performance too also, and that's the critical factor. And if they can play with that intensity and that way throughout the remainder of the season, they still have a huge chance to win this championship. There's no doubt about it.
Kelly thinking it down the left-hand side for Maida, infield to Kelly. He's giving it straight to Phillips though. Let's go then to Rugby Park. Last time we heard from Kerry, I don't even know what the scoreline was, but it's nothing like what it is right now. Kennedy.
It was 2-2, Liam. Last time we spoke, Danny Armstrong had just coolly slotted home a penalty. That was 2 goals in 4 minutes for Kilmarnock. I've never seen anything like this, I don't think, in my entire career following football. 5 goals in 18 second half minutes. Killie 5, St Mirren 2. After that penalty, a couple of minutes later, goal scorer Danny Armstrong then turned provider, thinking a lovely cross from Marley Watkins to flight one in to the top right-hand corner. That was bedlam, because that was 2-0 down to 3-2. The home fans couldn't believe it. There have been another couple of goals since. Kyle Vassell blasted one across the penalty area into the bottom right-hand corner. Then the best of the lot, David Watson scored a brilliant goal. They've nearly scored a 6 there, Kilmarnock. That's why I'm hesitating. David Watson picked up the ball just inside the St Mirren half. He then proceeded to run at a couple of St Mirren defenders who backed off. He beat them both and then slotted the ball into the bottom left-hand corner for a scoreline which is a scarcely believable one for me and the St Mirren fans, half of whom have left now. Kilmarnock 5, St Mirren 2. Remember, it was 2-0 to Saints at half-time. What a story at Rugby Park.
That is astonishing. I didn't quite get my head round that one. Ross County heading towards a massive victory, Ian Auld.
Yeah, quite incredible here at Dingwall, Liam. Hearts are mounting a serious comeback. Stephen Kingsley curled one in from the edge of the penalty box. Stephen Kingsley special to bring them back into the game. However, it was ruled offside. Lawrence Shanklin in the build-up. County hanging on. They're defending for their lives at the moment. George Wickens had a couple of great saves in there as well. Still 2-0. In fact, up the other end. Eamon Brophy almost going close. Ross County 2, Hearts 0.
Towards the final whistles across the country. We're a few minutes behind here. There was substantial stoppage time at the end of the first half. The Celtic come forward again with Forrest, right-hand side. The man who got the third wins the corner. Celtic 3, St Johnstone 0 here. We're in the 80th minute.
He definitely still as a player, Pat, be thinking, with the way the league set up is, running so close, Rangers playing tomorrow, Liam's touched on the goal difference, just keep on trying to pile in another couple of goals. You could get your reward come the end of the season. You can see Celtic try to do that and force another corner.
And it comes. Smitov comes out and clutches onto it this time comfortably on his 6-yard line and bowls it out quickly, looking to try and get Saints away. Here is Smith down the left-hand side, knocking it forward to Kimpioka. He tried to work it back to Connor Smith.
I think the same applies. You don't want to lose anything either. and St Johnstone are just trying to make a little bit of fist of it from an offensive perspective since May's come on.
And Stevie May, good memories from here, part of the St Johnstone side that won that Scottish Cup in 2014. As Phillips flicks it out to the left-hand side. Chance to cross here. May leaps for it, hits for goal with a save, but the rebound goes in. It might well have come off the Celtic defender, who was Iwata last, but it's been rifled into the roof of the net, and St Johnstone get a goal back in the 81st minute. Celtic 3, St Johnstone 1.
Yeah, and Joe Hart has gone off his head with his defenders, and they've gone to sleep in the back post. He brings off a magnificent save, I've got to say, from the first header, and it drops down and is volleyed into the back of the net. I did say it, yes, you want to score goals, but you don't want to lose anything either, and that's a bit of a blow. And I know as an ex-goalkeeper, you want to get a clean sheet, especially when the team's been playing well.
It's Connor Smith. I've just seen a replay of it. Yeah. It was kind of crowded out when we looked. It looked like it might have come off Iwata, but I suppose it was thundered into the roof of the net with such force and aplomb that it had to be someone who was volleying it. Iwata was the defender, but it's Connor Smith's goal, and St Johnstone are back to within 2. Still a massive long shot. It's going to need a comeback of Kilmarnock proportions this afternoon from this point, but it's something for Craig Levine to latch on to, and something for the St Johnstone fans to cheer. It was well built up goal though, that left hand side, good cross, and May just hung up there, thinks he's scoring. That's why Hart has gone off his head. He's brought off a fantastic save. He's moving to his left, has to change, get it with his right hand, get it away, and I was like you, Liam, I wasn't sure of Iwata Smith, but it was some finish, some reaction from the young lad who's just come on as a sub. Number 50 just pops it high into the net.
Yeah, and listen, it wasn't Iwata that was under the cross, to be honest, but I did say, once you bring out Carter Vickers out of that back four, you can almost lose a bit of, what would I call it, stability would be the word. He uses defensive strength, and he affects everybody else.
Good habits, he was doing it all game, wasn't he? Like, St Johnstone were clearing it, he was stepping in front of the striker, and that's why Brendan Rodgers was elated with him. He was telling him, well done, it's a small thing, but it just keeps us on another attack, keeps the pressure up. They take him off and they allow the cross to come in far too early. They just thought, we'll sit and we'll just defend it, but May was having none of it and hung up for the header that produced a save from Hart.
3-1 to Celtic, almost on 83. As Forrest knocks it forward, it might break Johnston's way, right hand side of the box, he's in behind and fires home! A wonderful goal!
Offside.
Flag's gone up for now, and that will annoy Alistair Johnston because he's taken that superbly well, rifled into the roof of the net past Mitov. But it looks as though it's going to stay Celtic 3, St Johnstone 1.
Yeah, it was good build-up play down that right-hand side, and he gets in. I would assume that he's offside because the assistant, normally he doesn't raise his flag too quickly, but that time he did, because obviously the ball hit the back of the net, and it will be checked, and it's being checked at the moment.
It's a brilliant finish, yeah.
Good finish.
I don't know, is that the third Celtic goal that's been ruled out for offside?
It's interesting, you've got Lagerbielke on the benches. I think he's coming on now. They made the change to take off Carter Vickers. They didn't put him on. They put Iwata back in that defensive role, and he was the main guy in the middle of the pitch, and they've changed that around that midfield with Holmes coming on. And there was about 3 or 4 changes in that one change. So now Lagerbielke is going to come on the pitch in the last period. How long's left, Billy? 5 minutes or something? You see it's just gone off the...
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Just getting to the...
So why would you not bring on Lagerbielke in the first place to replace Carter Vickers?
Well, it's not really going to matter because Celtic are going to win the game.
No, but then we start talking about goal difference and all the things that it does sort of kind of matter. It's a
personal thing for Lagerbielke, because if they put a midfielder back, it's kind of a snub, isn't it? And that's what Pat's meaning in terms of why did you just not stick Lagerbielke on and take a midfielder off?
Unfortunately, the wireless here at Celtic Park is letting me down completely, so I'm unable to update you on what's going on across the country. bbc.co.uk/SportScotland is where you want to be for that. We do have reporters out and about the games. They're having to double up and furnish the viewers on the Sports Scene results programme just now as well, so we will keep you going as best we can between now and full time. The Premiership matches, Hibs are going to win that one 3-0 up against Livingston. Ross County 2, Hearts 0, some scoreline. Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. It's an incredible scoreline as well. No goal, incidentally, here after the fairly lengthy check for Alistair Johnston's goal there, as Matt O'Reilly comes off to be replaced by Gustav Lagerbielke. So Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. Ross County, though, keeping the pressure on. And off comes O'Reilly to be replaced by Lagerbielke.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking where the foul, when he's put the ball down, it wasn't Alistair Johnston that was offside. It must have been earlier in the move, because it's way out on the left-hand side, not where Alistair Johnston ended up picking the ball up and scoring from. So it must have been, I'm not too sure, it might have been James Flores who was offside.
But it took an eternity, didn't it? I mean, offside, I know they can draw the lines and it's close sometimes, but surely got to be quicker than that.
St Johnston down the left, low ball across, is cut out and cleared. 86 on the clock, with Celtic sitting with a 2-goal cushion as it stands. Highlights of all this afternoon's Premiership matches on Sports Scene this evening.
Be a good watch, that, Liam.
Certainly will. I'm not sure the St Mirren fans will be too keen on it, to be fair.
As a neutral as me, then.
Yeah, no, of course. As Greg Taylor accepts a throw-in down by the corner flag. That's 7:30 on the BBC Scotland TV channel. Just going into the international break, just that one Premiership match to be played tomorrow, the late League One kick-off as Falkirk go to Queen of the South. This is on BBC Alaba. There's been a goal in Dingwall, Ian Auld.
Yeah, this could be a nervy one late on, Liam. We're into stoppage time now. Yutara Oda has pulled one back for the Jambos. Nice finish inside the 18-yard box, and we're just awaiting the confirmation of how long is left at the end of this one. But we're into stoppage time. 2-1 Ross County lead.
That will be a nervy end for the home team. Firth Park, Willie Miller.
Yes, it's still 1-0 to the visitors, and this is a rare statement. Aberdeen are actually defending extremely well, and it looks like a very rare shutout for them, because Motherwell have thrown everything at them. They bear, 2-3 opportunities, and then Andy Halliday just, over the last 5-10 minutes or so, another couple of opportunities from close in. And another rare statement is that Kel Roos has had an excellent game. He's made a number of very, very good saves. So Aberdeen hanging on, and it looks as though they're going to see this one out. We're into 3 minutes added on. There's an injury just now that's taken place, but not long to go here, and the Dons still 1-0 up.
A confident statement from Willie, given he was in Paisley a few weeks ago, as Taylor comes forward for Celtic. The cross ball is headed away by Liam Gordon, and Phillips completes the clearance. We're a good few minutes behind. We've still got 2 of the 90 still to play, with Celtic leading by 3-1. This is Daniel Kelly into the box. He finds Maida, just knocks it back out to Taylor on this near side. And then to Iwata, who finds Johnston, who's come into the left central midfield position from right back, out to Taylor. And rolls it infield to Iwata again. And then back the way to Welsh. It has been a comfortable afternoon, Billy, for Celtic, though, hasn't it?
I think they've played really well, and they've been asked the question. They've not been great over the last number of weeks. One good performance against Dundee, but asked the question, the Rangers, how can you perform? Can you handle the pressure? I think their tempo's been great, their movement's been exceptional. Scored 3 good goals and 3 chopped off. So they've answered the question, and it's over to Rangers tomorrow.
Yeah, and they'll be hoping to have the likes of Reo Hatate back after the break. Callum McGregor as well. The Celtic skipper, who is sadly missed in the Celtic side by the fans here, by his teammates. Such a driving force for them. As Saints pick up deep inside their own half with Considine. It is all over in Airdrie. 5-2. Last we heard, as that goes out of play in the far side. No, still in. Phillips keeps it in play. Iwata under pressure, and the foul by Timothy Iwata and Kuchayavi, and that will be a free kick to St Johnstone midway inside their own half. They will face Dundee next, and St Johnstone are looking at this situation now, Billy, with Ross County and Aberdeen winning today. It's dragged them right into the mire.
Yeah, certainly has. It's going to be, I mean, we're talking about tight at the top, it's certainly tight at the bottom as well, Pat, and so many teams down there looking over their shoulder as well as we go into 7 minutes. I think
it's all over at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 5, St Mirren 2. Astonishing. As we go into, as Billy says, the first of 7 minutes added on at the end here.
Where did the 7 minutes come from? I'm trying to think. Is it the VAR checks?
Loads of subs as well. You can make countless subs.
Well, the last offside VAR check took about 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Adamida. He's fouled there by Ryan McGowan, who's going to go into Ewan Anderson's book in the first of 7 minutes of stoppage time. Iwata took the free kick quickly, but no sign there of a card. As far as the Premiership's concerned, then, as we've been hearing, full-time whistles beginning to go. They're into stoppage time all over at Rugby Park. 5-2 Kilmarnock's Hibernian 3, Livingston 0. All 3 goals coming in the first half. Still Aberdeen hanging on, and stoppage time 1-0 up at Motherwell, with Ross County hanging on as well. 2-1 up against Hearts and Dingwall. Having come back and picked up a point against Hibs at midweek. Could be a priceless win, that one. Ayr United 2-1 up at Cali Thistle. Partick Thistle 2-1 up against Morton at home. All over Airdrie 5, Arbroath 2, goalless Queen's Park Wraith Rovers. League 1, Edinburgh City 2, Alloa 5, 3-0 Hamilton at home to Stirling Albion. Cove Rangers have beaten Kelty Hearts 1-0 in League 1. Montrose 1, Annan 1, and that looks like Edinburgh City relegated, as Queen of the South and Falkirk prepared to go head-to-head at Palmerston. 5:30 kick-off live in BBC Alapa. Clyde 2-1 up at Bonnyrigg Rose, and that is some result for the Bully Wee. Forper 1, Stennismuir 1's a full-time. That Clyde one's full-time. Peterhead 1, East Fife 1 is a full-time. Stranraer 1, Elgin City 2. 10 men pulling one back, but looks like they're going to lose, and it's finished at Ainslie. Spartans 2, Dumbarton 6 in League 2. So that is you up to date as the technology begins to flicker back into life here. There was a full-time score somewhere in my ear there. That's at Fir Park, 1-0 to Aberdeen against Motherwell. It's not all over at Firhill as yet, but it's getting pretty close. Partick Thistle looking like they're going to pick up 3 points against Morton, who've fallen off a cliff a little bit recently. A huge result, that one, because Morton had a game in hand on Thistle as well. And that chase for 4th place, least, was Kuhn, who came off a little while ago, has been named man of the match here. And this has been a possession for large spells. 3 minutes into 7 that were added at the end here, and this is going to be another match. It's going to take us up to the 5 o'clock as Lagerbilka picks up and shifts it to the left for Taylor. But Paki Celtic going into the international break, sitting top of the league, albeit Rangers with a game in hand to come at Dens tomorrow.
It's a strange one, actually. The break probably is coming at the wrong time for Celtic, if you think about it. When you consider how well they've played today, and they would love to keep this momentum going. And then when you get the international break, a lot of the players may be going away, and you might end up with hopefully not, an injury or two, or coming back with a little bit, maybe change, and they lose that momentum. So yeah, I'm sure Brendan Rodgers would have liked to go in this. But the day has been good, as Billy rightly described there. Really good performance from them, and they'll take a lot of heart from that.
Away to Livingston and away to Rangers in their next 2 matches are Celtic. And it is Greg Taylor shifting it to the right of the centre circle for Lagerbilka. They're looking for another goal or two, running out of time to do so. The battle to improve the goal difference. It's all over in all 4 championship matches. So wins for Airdrieonians, for Ayr United, for Partick Thistle. Wraith Rovers have been unable to truly capitalise on Dundee United's slip last night. It does draw them level in points with United, but it's finished goalless at Hampden. OK, Queen's Park has been in decent form, but 0-0. And once more, Rovers have been unable to take advantage of a Dundee United slip. United have not been red hot by any stretch of the imagination. And Rovers will be, if they don't win that title, Billy, they're going to be looking back at that run. I think was it four defeats on the bounce 5 defeats on the bounce, perhaps. Haven't got it in front of me at the moment, but they've reacted so well to that themselves. But that is a huge blow. Of course, lost at Arbroath. Rovers, had they screwed the nut at that point and sealed the deal at Gayfield, could have been running away with the championship title.
Yeah, it could have been easier, but let's be honest, just to be in the title race with Dundee United having the budget to have, Raith just staying in the mix, you're going to have your tough times in the season, and that was the one you were talking about.
From Celtic on the right hand side, that's Forrest back the way, comes to the edge of the area, Taylor's shot spilled by Vida gets onto it, and his efforts blocked by the keeper, who was still on the ground, and it was over for a Celtic corner in the closing stages of the match here.
Yeah, it was a chance though, good chance, good save from the goalkeeper initially, just spilled it, got away from him, but he got back up to react to Adamida's follow-up to keep the ball out of the back of the net. But as Billy says, every goal is important, and this of course would be a nice one for Celtic to get that sort of 4th goal. But anyway, they have a chance, they've got the corner.
It's a dink corner towards the penalty spot, Welsh's header, and it's headed over the bar when it really should have been a 4th Celtic goal. There's a really good chance there for Iwata, and he's annoyed with himself, and little wonder. It's all over in all the Premiership matches apart from this one. Aberdeen with a priceless win, but equally priceless was Ross County's win over Hearts, and that means it's as they were between Aberdeen and County. For St Johnstone, though, the frustration for them will be that both those teams have won. Aberdeen will move up to 9th, St Johnstone will drop to 10th, and just a point clear now of Ross County in that playoff position. So not a great afternoon for Craig Levein. I'm not sure he was banking on any points coming from here, despite the fact Saints drew here at the end of August. He wouldn't have been banking on getting anything out of this one, but that has put some massive importance on their next game, which is against Dundee. And as the clock ticks on to 5 o'clock, this game finally comes to an end. A canter for Celtic. Okay, it's a win by just the 2 goals, but there was a massive gulf between the sides in the end. Up Kyogo's header giving Celtic the lead 5 minutes from half time, as they deservedly went up the tunnel with the lead. Kuhn turning home a ball across by Kyogo to make it 2 at the start of the second half, and James Forrest on for Kuhn as a substitute, last home the 3rd. He scored more goals against St Johnstone than anyone in his career, and he added to it with a fine finish with his left foot as well. Connor Smith pulled back for St Johnstone by then. It was way too late though for the Perth Saints, and it finishes here with Celtic going to the top of the Premiership and piling the pressure on Rangers, who go to Dundee tomorrow. Celtic 3, St Johnstone 1.